All right, so this is Andrew Tate and Cheyenne do not get along. Apparently, they go on some kind of a date. I don't really know who Cheyenne is. Let's just get this going. Apparently, she's a high-value woman. Andrew Tate, of course, is the highest value man he'll ever meet. Let's get this going.
Money isn't real.
Okay.
If you know what you have, you don't have much. And once you reach a certain level of money, you don't even know what you have. And you certainly don't own what you have. Outside entities, which you may have a stake in, own what you have. People who have a lot of money understand. It's very difficult for me to even say how much money I have, but I can have anything I want, anytime I want.
Wow. Okay. The flex,
Hi, I'm Cheyenne Reynolds, and I'm still on the lookout. I've had some good dates.
Liking my views, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all good right now.
Charmer, ain't ya? And I've had some bad dates. How do you think you've done on the date?
I don't really give a shit. I'm not gonna lie, bruv.
Where are all the decent men? Not in my DMs, that's for sure.
You get me? I feel like I'm rolling with the man then. What's going on? 95s.
Is that what this whole bit is? Is like this woman that dates, that tries to date guys or something? That's like the whole thing? That's interesting. Okay.
Seems like a lot of men don't know how to treat a lady.
I'll just manhandle everything.
You need to start putting a chest in chest and then that. Like, jeez.
Will I have better luck this season? What would you do if my ex was after you?
You can have you.
Let's find out. This is grilling.
I'm Andrew Tate III. I'm here because I was invited.
Wow.
Is that a good answer? That's fine. Yeah, I was invited, so I thought I'd come along. Why not? There's already love in the universe. I've already found love. I found love with reality, my friend. I'm already in love. I'm in love with waking up every day. You know, there's people who are trying to stop me breathing and they've yet to succeed. I'm already in love. Love's great.
Very deep.
I used to think that it was the man, and I was actually accurate, thinking that it was the man who was selling himself to the woman. But once you reach a certain level of achievement as a man, it's the woman who's trying to sell herself to you. I've handled a bunch of difficult situations in my life. I'm not intimidated. Let's leave it at that. We'll see how it goes. I would say I'm pretty confident, yeah, overall. Yeah, I think confidence is born from adversity, right? Everything that doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Maybe.
Can Cheyenne ask you whatever she likes?
Anything she likes, find the most difficult question on the planet, tell her to throw her question card away, write a new one. I'm ready. Better be good. I better struggle, which is obviously impossible. So she should at least try to make me struggle. I spent my life fighting in the cage. I'm not scared of her. I think relationships are a beautiful thing. I think that the synergy between men and women are a beautiful thing if they are correctly collaborated. I think that's what makes society function. I think that's what makes the world function. I think that men and women falling in love and having children and having families are very, very beautiful things, as long as it's done correctly, as long as a woman obeys like she's supposed to.
I was like, okay, this sounds really nice, but yeah, as long as everything's done correctly. You notice I was like, what does that mean? I was like, what is that? What? As long as the woman obeys. Listen, why? What a weird social construct. Listen, if you want a woman who's more submissive to you, then that's totally fine. You have every right to advocate for what you would like to have. But this idea that a woman has to be submissive is like weird. Like and I don't know what that means. Like, what does a woman obeying mean? We're already going down a little bit of a rabbit hole. If you want a woman that's more submissive, be my guest. Like, that's fine. You know, like that's total. Do your thing. It's just like, okay, all right, let's go.
And I think the world can be a beautiful place as long as gender roles are not misconstrued and misunderstood. So if Sean doesn't understand that, I'll correct her quickly and we'll fix the world and we can move on.
Jesus Christ. I thought that was going to be like that the whole time. I was like, oh my God.
Very nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hi.
That's really nice.
Thank you. Let's do two kisses. 1, 2.
Oh, very nice to meet you.
Wow,
Nice to meet you.
very
Andrew
nice.
Tate, what's your name?
Andrew, nice to meet you.
Very
And Cheyenne.
cute.
Or Cheyenne Reynolds, if you're doing this whole
Cheyenne Reynolds. We're gonna do official.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Okay.
I think she's an attractive woman. She's good looking. Friendly demeanor.
Okay. Cool.
I can tell she thinks she knows things, so I look forward to correcting her. But that's usually how.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, she thinks she knows things. I mean, women do know some things. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Life works.
Finally, see? A man that makes an effort. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Seems like he's doing
Okay,
well.
where are you from?
I'm American, but I lived in England for a long time. I lived in a very prestigious part of the UK. I don't know if you've ever heard of Luton.
Very
Prestigious.
Yeah.
Yeah, #1.
Luton.
Number
Okay.
one.
Was not expecting that.
So I was in Luton for a while, and now I live in Europe. So
Okay.
Okay, because your accent, it's like really different, isn't it?
It's pretty mixed up. I'm like a street dog, my dear. I've been here, I've been there. Half American, half English, half Luton, half everything else.
A bit of a mix.
Bit of a mix.
That's cool. So how did you get here today?
I flew in this morning.
Flew in. It's different. Something different.
Yeah. Jump on the jet.
You flew in on a jet. Who is this guy?
What about you? You have a mix, no?
Yeah, my family, we're Caribbean and English.
So the
So far, he's flexing a little bit. Nothing wrong with that, you know. Nothing wrong with flexing.
Caribbean side's the crazy side, or the English side's the crazy side.
I'd say the Caribbean's the fun side. You know, a bit
Fun side?
spice.
So you're fun and crazy.
Not crazy.
I mean, it's the beginning of the day. You can't lie.
Do I look like I'd lie to you?
Yes.
I'm not a liar, actually.
You're not a liar. Everything you tell me for the rest of this episode is going to be a complete truth.
Yeah.
Promise me. Yeah. Say I promise.
All right.
I promise. No, I really promise.
All right.
Honest thoughts and opinions.
We'll see. All right, we'll see.
Yeah. So what do you do?
We'll see. I
I'm gonna
wonder.
lie. Give me a second.
No, you can't lie.
You have to tell the truth. I don't have to tell the truth.
Why?
We already agreed you're telling the truth. There's only one of us can tell the truth. One of us can lie.
That's not good stuff.
I'm a shoe salesman. I sell shoes, socks, shoe accessories, polish, etc., etc.
Yeah?
Yeah, I sell shoes. Yeah.
You good at it?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Surviving.
He didn't. Why didn't she just Google this guy? Right? What? That's what I would have done. I'd be like, who's this guy? Google Andrew Tate. Siri, Andrew Tate.
Sold 2 pairs of shoes yesterday. Life's good.
Okay, that's good. He's a liar. So tell me a bit about you.
Well, obviously he's being a
I'm
little
not
cheeky.
comfortable opening up too much.
Being a little
Yeah,
cheeky,
because,
mate.
you might work for John Law and the government.
No.
What?
I have to be careful what I say.
Oh, so it's not commitment issues.
It's not commitment issues. It's
sure?
more just like legality issues.
Oh, okay.
I like to go to
it's-
church. I'm a man of God. Play Scrabble.
Do you have faith?
Okay, this is good. This is an interesting conversation that we can have on camera, which is
I'd say my personal journey.
Didn't he say like you could ask me any question, and now he's like very worried what questions she'll ask him? It's a little suspicious, but okay. Well, let me just get this one thing down right here. Beautiful.
God is between me and God. So I'm not one of those people that is like, yes, I go to church or yes, I do this.
Don't you think that's a bit like lazy Christianity?
No, not
Probably,
really,
yeah.
because for me, I believe in love and I believe in faith, and I don't think it's just one religion that you need to follow. You know, I've got friends that are Muslim.
I agree.
I've got friends that are Christian. You know, I've got friends that are spiritual, so I don't put myself in one category.
I understand and I respect that completely, but don't you think out of respect for God himself, whether you're in Dubai and you go to the mosque or you're in England, you go to the church, you should get up early on a Sunday, despite all the booze, and get up and take an hour out of your life and just show some respect? Don't you
No,
agree?
because everyone's journey is with God is personal.
You can be a lazy spiritualist, a lazy Christian, you can be a lazy kickboxer, right? I'm a kickboxer, but I don't train. Okay, bro.
Okay.
I understand. You're lazy. It's okay.
I'm not lazy. Do you have time for God?
I wouldn't really call her lazy. She's just probably not super religious. But I mean, what he's saying is like she's a lazy Christian. Sure, yeah, that's actually a valid argument. But I don't think that she's fundamentally lazy because she doesn't go to church. I mean, I guess it also depends on her motivation for like why she doesn't go to church. But
Absolutely.
That's good. Do you get up early on a Sunday?
Completely.
That's good.
Every single Sunday, of course.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I think that being religious is a beautiful thing, and I think that a lot of people
Okay.
try and say they're spiritual or they're religious in a way, copping out on the 1 hour a week. It just feels a bit lazy to me. I think you can always find an hour a week.
Yeah. No, you definitely could.
So maybe God sent me here to make you go to church.
Maybe you're here to enlighten
What a
me.
turn.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of man are you?
What's the spectrum? I need you to quantify it for me. Who's at the bottom and who's at the top?
For me, I'd just say top like a high value man.
What would you say constitutes a high value man?
A high value man is someone that is successful
Okay.
financially.
Okay.
I'd say it's someone that's got a lot of integrity and good morals.
all right, so she seems like somebody who's actually like within the high value man sphere. Okay, so here we go. Listen, this is the thing. So everybody has like a different principle. For me, what I would consider a high value man, a man that is valued, you don't have to be like successful. There's only going to be so many, jobs that you can really go after. There's only going to be so much that everybody can do based on a multitude of circumstances. I think what makes like a high value person, we'll say a man in this instance, is somebody who is doing their best to do their best. They are working to be the best version of themselves. They're respectful. They're thoughtful. They'll put themselves in harm's way first. They're loyal, right? Faithful. It's a big deal. Yeah, they are somebody who interacts in a way that can be looked up to. Like the way that you should try to carry yourself is, as a man, is you should try to carry yourself in a way where even if you don't have kids, you're always setting an example for your future kids. What that means is like you're always acting you're acting like the man that you would want like your daughter to marry, because the reality is that like your sons and daughters, your mothers teach sons, and I know that there's gay people too, but generally speaking, your mother will teach your son how a woman should treat him, and your father will teach their daughter how a man should treat them. Obviously not sexually, you fucking animals. But that's the way that you should try to carry yourself. Everybody makes mistakes, but that's like the general way that you should try to carry yourself. So.
That is very
Well, like I was saying before, is that she's like a successful man. So it kind of sounds like she wants a guy that has a lot of money, and that's totally fine. But you're kind of I don't think that you get to complain as much if you're going after the high value man. You can't really complain about like regressive values, to be honestly.
respected, is very sure of himself, but also is a very family-orientated man. That's, for me, a high value man.
Okay, it's fine. I'm high value.
He's very sure of himself. Yeah, so what's a high value man for you?
Pretty much basically what you said. I think a high value man is a capable man. I think capability can be judged in many different ways. And capability is something which varies depending on the situation.
Okay.
You need a man who is capable of doing lots of different things that he doesn't do very often. You need a man who's capable of being violent when the time appears. Of course, you need a man who's capable of making money.
Sure.
You need a man who can kill somebody and hold a baby in the same day. You need a man with a very broad spectrum of qualities and assets and capabilities. And this is actually what the most difficult thing about being a man is. Most people, when I say most people, let me change that. Most females don't respect how difficult it is to become a high value man. Because to become a high value man, you need to have so many different qualities and so many different capabilities. It's a very difficult thing to do. You need to be funny and smart and charismatic and interesting with stories and strong and rich with a nice car and a nice apartment. Whereas to be a high value female, you need to be hot. If you're nice, it's a bonus, but it's not even that necessary.
That's it.
If you're a pretty female,
So this is one of those things. They're obviously talking about like their manosphere bullshit. Here's the thing, and this is something I really don't understand. Again, you do you at your social contract for how you want to date. You know, if that's how you want to date, like be my guest. Like it's okay to want these types of things. I'm not saying it's not okay, because it certainly is. You know, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But what I will say here is that the idea of like what a high value woman is always very bizarre to me, or a high value man, because from my experience, and I feel like maybe this is probably more normal, is that like these people seem to be these guys seem to be meeting women after they're successful. So they want a woman that's really just like arm candy, and that's fine. You do you. The thing is I would say that like, to me, when it boils down to it, is that like, for instance, my wife and I met when we weren't like, neither of us were like doing like super well financially, and then we built together, and she's like half of my success and I'm half of hers. And I feel like that's more normal. People usually date each other, like, you know, usually people will meet each other like a little young, maybe they're like 20s or something. Even in your 30s, it's taking longer and longer for people to generate success nowadays. And you build with somebody. And my wife has been a pivotal part of my building as a person and as a man. And so this idea that like, oh, women are just attractive, there's like, if you're looking for that, that's fine. I mean, that sounds incredibly fucking boring. But like, women have more to offer, you know. I think that a lot of times these people in this high value male sphere, they conflate what they want in a woman, which is basically just a body to fuck, a warm body to fuck, with like what women are fundamentally, and that's probably the biggest issue that I have with a lot of these high value men.
Female, even if you're a piece of shit person, you're gonna get messages on Instagram.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a good-looking man who lives with his mother, you ain't getting any messages.
Not really.
I think so. I think that if you're a good-looking man, that's all you have going for you, I don't think you're going to succeed very well in life. Yeah. I know there's very, very pretty girls who have nothing else going for them that manage to do very, very well. Yeah. Do you play chess?
I'm okay at it.
But if you look at the chessboard, right, the queen gets to jump all over the board, and the king has to move one square at a time, and I think that's done very purposefully. If you go to Monaco and you see a yacht, and you see a man on that yacht, he had to work his entire life, and network his entire life, and get up early and deal with stress.
Well, what if you see a woman on a yacht? Like, what if, like it's her yacht? Like, they could go through, women can go through similar circumstances. I hope we're aware of this, yeah.
And tax problems and police problems, and work his ass off to buy that boat. What did the girl have?
Tax problems and police problems. This just feels like a really weird self-report. It's not normal to have tax and fucking police problems, Andrew. This isn't like a normal experience. Like, yeah, you have these, as a man, I have all these tax problems. I have problems with the police. What? Why? It's just part of being a man. No, it's not. It's not part of being a man. Part of being a man is not to have tax and fucking police problems. Who told you that? That's unhinged. It sounds like you're doing illegal things. You shouldn't be constantly having tax and policing problems. Okay.
What to do? The girl who's on that boat, the 19-year-old Ukrainian. She had to get a message on Instagram. Boom. So the man moves one square at a time, and the queen just jumps on board. This is the point. Female beauty is extremely valuable.
The thing is, there's a difference between a high-value man and a high-value woman. For me, a high-value woman is what kind of mother is she? What kind of like compassion has she got? You know, has she got integrity? Has she got morals? Is she loyal?
That's an interesting and a good point, because it seems like none of these men in these, I never thought of that. None of these men in the high-value male sphere, they never like look for a woman who would be a good mother, which is like actually I think very important. Like you should be looking for a woman that's a good mother and a man that's a good father. I think that's. I'm gonna lose this. God fucking damn it! Now I'm a low value man now. But they never seem to say like, yeah, you know, a woman who would make a good mother. Oh, okay. But they never say that. It's interesting.
Like all these other qualities, but I feel like men base it on like just an aesthetic level.
I agree with you. If I meet a female, I would like her to be all those things, especially loyal. It's the most important thing for a female to be.
Are you loyal?
Mr. Loyal, man of God. We already talked about church. But But the point is that to initially attract a mate, females, the most important thing for them is their looks, whereas a man, I think, is his status, and status is a far more varied spectrum.
Is she actually like? Is he actually loyal though? Like, would he actually not cheat on her? Because that's a big deal. I feel. Because we always hear the discourse of like it's okay. It's basically like it's okay for a man to cheat. Because like men have so much value and women are just a pair of tits. That's the fundamental argument. And like I said, like, you know, if you don't value women for anything more than like fucking a warm body, then of course you're gonna feel that way. The fact that you don't look for anything deeper in a woman, that's kind of your bad. I mean, that's your own problem. But fundamentally, like, yeah, I think that when a man cheats, it's probably generally a little different, maybe. Like, I feel like men physically cheat a little more, women emotionally cheat a little bit more. Like, it might not mean anything to a man, but it's still not an okay thing to do. Like, one of the things you should be as a man is somebody who holds to your word. So, like, if you're dating a woman and then you're like, you are consenting to a relationship where neither of you are sleeping with other people, as a man of your word, you just simply shouldn't be cheating. It's not like a super deep point that I'm making here. And I find it kind of pathetic when men are like, well, it's okay for me to cheat. Why? Why is it okay for you to lie? Like, why not just be like, I don't want to be tied down. I want to fuck other girls. Okay. But why is it that you feel like you won't be able to get in a relationship unless you lie? And I think that's kind of pathetic.
Than looks alone. Being good looking alone does not make you a high status male. To be a high status male, you need to have a bunch of things. Initially, if you're just pretty, you're going to get attention. Whereas a man, you need to have a bunch of things to just get attention. You understand? Do you agree with my point?
Not always. Listen, there's men that are funny that aren't that attractive that can get attention. It's like an energy
True,
thing.
actually.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree.
No, you're actually she's right. Like, men don't usually have to be beholden to beauty standards as much. Like, being a successful man in general is going to help you, but like a humorous men tend to do better than a person. It's a contributing factor. It doesn't mean that you can be a complete like cesspool loser, but like it is a factor. Funny men, like, you know, that's why you see funnier, fatter. Like, listen, it's actually like a meme. If you look at a lot of, especially like 90s sitcom, like the King of Queens and shit like that, where it's like always this fat guy. Even like the Flintstones that's dating this like attractive woman, shit like that. We just have different beauty standards. So the attractiveness of a male is a factor, of course, but not as much as a factor of like the attractiveness of a female, generally speaking.
I know what you're saying. They can get attention, but I don't think anyone would look at a funny guy who lives with his mom and call him a high value male. Whereas if you get a really,
that's
really
probably
beautiful girl,
true.
even if she has nothing else going for her, she'd be considered high value.
I wouldn't say high value, no.
Yeah, we can disagree. That's fine.
Are you a good partner?
The best. Of
The
course.
best. What makes you the best?
Besides you and the police.
What is up with him?
Okay. He's definitely had a police interview in the past.
I don't like to answer open-ended questions because I feel like they're a trap.
Why?
All right, so like this whole, I don't know if he's like half kidding, but this whole police thing is like a fucking constant self-report. It's like so weird.
Because when you speak a lot, it's how you end up getting trapped, right? It doesn't matter if it's a police interview or anything else. The more you talk, the worse. So I want you to be very, very specific with your parameters within the questioning, because that allows me to answer them in a way which makes me look the best.
I don't know. I feel like a very confident man that was very sure of himself would just answer.
You think so?
I do. Yeah.
Because
I feel like it's just being calculated.
Okay, a very innocent man, would he just answer the police?
Yeah. If he's innocent.
Then you've never dealt with the police, my dear. That's not how it works.
You know, I can understand getting a lawyer, but like this just I don't think a very innocent person needs to lie to the police. Like the police aren't that much of failures unless the police, like your argument is they're looking to they're out to get you. I just feel like maybe it's you, Andrew. Maybe you got some suspicious shit going on, brother. I don't know, dude. What the fuck? This guy's like a big walking fucking like self-report. Holy shit.
No, of course not.
But he's innocent.
It doesn't mean anything. Innocent and guilty in and of itself is a false paradigm.
What?
You have to understand that the world we live in, there is no black and white. There's no such thing. It's all a sliding scale. If they want to find you guilty, they'll find you guilty. I guarantee you sold something to a
Well, yeah, but now we're getting to like a very conspiratorial perspective of like if they want to find you guilty, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why are we engaging in like this bizarre conspiracy theory now? Why do they want to find you guilty? What are you doing that's so on the line? What are you doing that's so like suspect? Where like you're being so hyper calculated. It sounds like you're tax evading. Like you just keep talking about your taxes. It's not hard to pay your fucking taxes. I pay my own taxes. It's not that difficult. You might have a lot of money, you just have to pay the correct tax. It sounds like you're trying to dodge things and you're trying to engage in like, you know, sketchy tactics, and then like you're getting caught. So you've learned not to talk too much, which makes sense for a person doing an illegal thing. But that's not the general experience of people.
7 years ago, didn't pay tax. Boom, you're going to jail. I'm enjoying this conversation. And
Well, what do you say? Yes, of course you
sold
would.
something to a mate on eBay 7 years ago, didn't pay tax. Boom, you're going to jail.
Oh, stop! You sold something to a mate, you didn't pay tax. That's not going to happen. You're not going to go to jail for selling something on eBay to somebody at all. All right. Like, that's not even true whatsoever. It's not even considered a business until I think you make like $600 or $400 a year. So, like, that doesn't matter. Nobody's going to give a shit about that. They're not going to waste a resource for that. Like, that's... This guy's fucking insane. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Holy shit.
I'm enjoying this conversation, and I understand every point she's making,
That's
and I'm being
good.
deliberately abrasive. However, the truth is about the masculine and feminine.
I'm being deliberately... Dude, this guy's a character. Why? Why are you being deliberately abrasive? You're trying to test to see if she can put up with your shit? That's a high-value woman, is putting up with a guy's shit. Not that I don't put up with my own wife's shit either. Like, you know, high-value man is put up with a woman. There you go. A high-value man is a guy who could put up with your shit, and a high-value woman is a girl who could put up with a guy's shit. I like that. All right? That sound good?
Feminine dynamic is that females like men who are completely in charge and run their life exactly how they want, and they comply and bend to the man's wills and lifestyle.
Some women like that, of course, but not all. Like, my wife likes it when I make more decisions, but like also my wife likes to be able to make decisions when she wants to. Like, not every woman is the same person.
To come along to a woman and say, "How do you want me to be so that you like me?" is a death sentence for the relationship. So that's how it works.
What kind of
For sure, but that's not the same thing as letting women have a little bit of control. There's a difference between a guy just like completely like, "Oh, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to be? What do you want?" There's a difference between that. And there's a difference between that and giving a woman some control. Being like a fucking pushover, which sounds like what basically he described some... Oh, fuck. Dude, oh my God, I'm not paying attention. Being a pushover, which is basically what it sounds like, is completely different from what you're referring to.
And do you want to be?
I want to be a man who lives true to himself, and a man who goes to sleep easy at night, and a man who knows that he's living true to his biological necessities and instincts, and tries his best not to hurt anybody, and leaves a positive impact on the world.
Are your actions congruent with your words? Yeah.
What else would they be?
I don't know. I don't know you, so that's why
You
I'm
don't
trying
know?
to get to know you.
Yeah, we're here to know each other. Of course they are. Yeah, I'm a positive man. I'm a positively inspirational and motivating person.
Okay, what do you do that's motivating?
I inspire people to tell the truth, I think.
Okay.
And I think a lot of men live in a world now today where they have to lie.
Do you think?
In fact, I would base...
Somebody just said that. I just looking at this for a second. Apparently, Aiden Ross is on Sherman
Like
Andrew
a
Tate.
little bit fat, it's like drinking soya lattes, just sitting around the internet all day. Do you know what I mean?
Really, bro?
You know what I'm saying? But like the geniuses who are out here on the streets, like, you know.
I gotta watch this tomorrow, I think.
basically guarantee that 99%
That's crazy.
of men are lying at least 80% of the time.
Really? That's a bit bold.
I
Sorry,
think it's
let
true.
me just...
Inspirational and motivating person.
Okay, what do you do that's motivating?
I inspire people to tell the truth, I think.
Okay.
And I think a lot of men live in a world now today where they have to lie.
Do you think?
In fact, I would basically guarantee that 99% of men are lying at least 80% of the time.
Really?
What? That's
a
a-
bit bold.
I think it's true.
That's a little high. I mean, everybody has their white lies. I feel like, again, you're self-reporting. It seems like you lie a lot. It's so interesting when you have these people who think that like they speak for everybody. It's like, no. Every man, I lie 90% of the time, so most men do that as well. It's like, okay, epic Mr. Girl moment there.
Because I think that
So men are liars.
men are liars. Women are correct. Men are liars. Women wear makeup because men fall in love with what they see. And men lie because women fall in love with what they hear. Men are liars because men are in constant competition with other men.
This is ridiculous. The reason that this is just so preposterous to me is this concept that like Andrew feels like the need to be a completely fake person. This is what he's telling us. Men are liars. I don't like, everybody lies every once in a while. Like, for instance, I told my wife that I would go Stop and Shop today and get some groceries. I didn't do that. I lied to my wife. Now, what happened is I went out to go to Costco and whatnot and do a few other things, and I had to take a shit. So I came home and took a shit, and then I said, fuck it, I'm home. But he's not just talking about like, oh, men lie. He's talking about like men, like the entire, he's effectively saying that like the entire personality of men is a lie. Like a lot of these men are just like lying. That you shouldn't, that's not what a man is. And somebody who should be constantly lying. This is like so bad for people, what he's talking about.
And they have to find a way to be competitive. And the easiest way to be competitive is to lie. If you can sit there and convince a woman that you're rich because you bought her $100 or £100 meal, that's what you're going to do. It's a lot easier to become.
I just don't do that. I used to take women out to half-off apps at Applebee's. I ain't fucking around. I don't have that much money. I mean, now I do, but back then I didn't have that much money. You think I'm going to fucking, oh, let me buy you this nice thing? No, fuck you. Okay, bitch? No, just kidding. No, but seriously, I'm not going to, I wouldn't really spend, a lot of money on like a lot of nice stuff because, got to keep it reasonable. Of course, got to keep it reasonable.
Becoming rich. And women believe it. And as long as women are stupid enough to believe it, men are dishonest enough to lie.
For me personally, I'm the type of woman that
Okay.
it's actions rather than words. I don't get like phased by.
Actions can be a lie.
You know what?
You think flowers can't be a lie? You think flowers, 25 pounds on a phone call to some dickhead delivery dude can't be a lie?
No, but there's some like good men that wouldn't even enter the head that that's a lie. So I feel like everything you're doing is just very calculated.
Life is calculated. All men
not.
lie.
It's really not.
Men lie
Like,
because,
it's not.
life at the upper echelons, at the highest echelons of life is absolutely and utterly calculated. Every single man at the top echelon of life is a calculated man. You don't get there by accident.
Okay, so do you want to get to the top?
I'm already at the top echelon of man. And when you're at the top echelon of man, it's a very, very calculated.
Well, but like realistically speaking, didn't he got to the top by being a really good fighter? Which is great. That's good for you. Like you got to be calculating how to train really well. But like it's not that deep, I don't think. He got a bunch of capital from being a good fighter, and then he invested in some really sketchy business moves from what he's saying. That's what I'm extrapolating from the way that he's speaking. So, like, I feel like you're acting like you are like this profound guy, but you're just a guy who came into a lot of money from being a really good fighter, and then you again invested into like really shady shit, and you're like, yes, see, I'm smart as fuck. Okay, but like that's the thing is when you have a bunch of capital burn, you can invest into things that may not necessarily work out. So like, how really calculated do you really feel? I feel like you're generally a hardworking guy that got pretty lucky to an extent. Of course, mixture with hard work, and like now you're acting like you're this incredible guy. It seems a little bizarre. But okay.
Process. You don't get there by accident. Nothing good in life happens on accident. When you say
sure.
men don't lie because you believe in actions, I'm saying a lot of actions are lies.
Am I high value women in your eyes?
You're very good looking, so I would say, yeah, absolutely. You're beautiful. You seem like you're a good person. You seem intelligent. You're not stupid. So I'd say you're a high value woman, but your actions dictate that, right? The most important actions a woman can undertake is loyalty. Every man out here knows that disloyalty is the most disgusting thing a female could ever do to her man.
But are you loyal?
Disloyalty is the most disgusting thing I imagine that what? What?
Let's not pretend that male loyalty and female loyalty are the same thing.
But loyalty is loyalty.
No, but they're not the same.
I mean, there's probably some small differences, but it's generally the same thing. Like, what? You sign a social contract to be with somebody. I mean, I guess in his defense, he's currently letting her know that he will not be signing the social contract. He's like, once he starts playing the loyalty game, like that's the one thing is at least he's being on. It's just such a bizarre thing. It's so weird. It's just so weird. Like if you're upfront, I mean, if we're upfront, I'm gonna cheat on you sometimes. It's just okay. I guess at least he's giving her a warning. Now she knows, like, yeah, I probably shouldn't date this guy because he's not going to be committed to me. But like, you shouldn't be teaching men that it's okay to fucking cheat all the time.
The same thing, are they?
Why is it not?
Because men and women are not the same.
We are not the same. You are correct there.
Okay, so we agree.
No, but I'm not agreeing to people being dishonest, cheaters, liars. He's deluded.
Why do you think men and women are different?
We carry children.
Correct.
We nurture. We're compassionate, emotional beings.
Yep.
Men are very different.
I agree.
However, I don't think it's very fair for men to sit with the opinion that it's acceptable for men to cheat.
I didn't even say that, but I think if we...
You didn't say that, but you definitely hinted at it. She asked if you're loyal, and you got like, oh well, you pleaded the fifth on that one. So I feel like maybe you kind of did. Yeah, you kind of did say that. Okay.
Intelligent, logical beings, as you are and as I am, if we agree that men and women are not the same, then our paradigms on how we act in certain regards cannot be seen as the same.
So, if I'm with you,
Correct.
and I then cheat,
That's disgusting. I can't believe you even said that on YouTube. You see, you just said that on YouTube. I'm sorry to the world. Please don't listen to this.
No, but it happens.
No, it doesn't
No, but it
happen.
does.
No, no,
People
no, no.
cheat.
Please don't say this on YouTube. You're going to corrupt the youth. I'm sorry for her. I'll pray for her. These things can't be said. Women can't
He's
do
a
that.
fucking
women
idiot.
can't do that, so it's a double standard.
It's a double standard.
Yeah.
But life is full of double standards.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean any, listen, regardless with your philosophies and everything that you keep
It's not my philosophies.
No, but I'm saying, okay, life is full of double standards.
Correct.
I understand that. But in a relationship,
Correct.
it's a partnership.
Yes.
Right? You and me, we're together.
Since when?
You know what I'm saying. When you're trying to build a partnership and a life with someone,
Yeah.
the end goal is you two together.
Agreed.
So why cheat?
I know, I understand where you're coming from. My point is that relationships and life is full of double standards as a whole. A man's going to pay for everything everywhere you go, right? This is his duty as a man. Do you agree?
No, I do like traditional.
Okay, so you agree. So you're traditional, right? So if you want to talk about traditional, let's talk about tradition. Every single man since the dawn of human time had more than one woman. Every single king, every single emperor, every single sultan, every single conqueror since the dawn of human time had more
Maybe.
than one woman. All of them.
See, this is the problem, though, and this is one of those things where, like, this is one of those situations where, like, he's portraying, I would say, like, I would argue, probably a factual statement in an incredibly disingenuous way, right? So if he's like, yeah, you know what? If you look back historically, men used to have multiple girlfriends or wives or whatever. And he's like, so because of that, I want to date more than one woman. That's a perfectly fine and reasonable thing to say. But that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is it's okay for me to cheat on you. It's okay for me to engage in a relationship contract where I say I will only be with you and then lie. Those are not the same thing. That's a coward's move. Just tell a woman like, hey, I want to date, or tell her like, yeah, I want to be with multiple people. Thing is that she's not going to consent to the relationship. So like you're doing something, I'm not calling it like sexual assault or anything, but you're engaging in a non-consensual relationship because like you're kind of a fucking coward. And that's really the point that I'm trying to make here. And that's like really the primary issue.
Single one. Read a history book. Read the Bible. It's all in there. The Quran, all of it. You want to talk about tradition? It's all there. The only reason your mind is different, the only reason you believe differently is because of society. Society's come along and told you so.
Yeah, but society, we can change. Like the world evolves, things change.
The world evolves. Yeah, that's right. Now men cut their dicks off and their chicks. Do you believe in this shit? You got the vaccine? You believe in any of this crap? It's all a lie.
I feel like life's about choices.
Life is about choice.
I had to throw in a little transphobic rant there. Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the rant. I really appreciate that.
This is correct. My point is this. If I had a woman, I would decide not to cheat because I decide. However, I would not see my infidelity as nearly anywhere near even 1% as disgusting as female infidelity, because female infidelity involves emotion. You will not sleep with a man you don't like. I can sleep with a woman I don't like. It's a completely different thing. I can be
like, see, like I can somewhat agree that generally speaking, like, yeah, men tend to physically cheat more, women tend to emotionally cheat more. It's just like the framing is like so poor. It's just so poor in general. It's just fucking insane, but okay.
Over heels in love with a woman, ready to die for her, ready to take a bullet for her, protect her, give her all the money in the world, make sure she has a beautiful family, a nice big house, all of it. And I'll still fuck that bitch. Watch me. A woman won't do that. So don't lie to me and pretend. No, you won't. Any woman who will sit here and say, I can do.
Some women might, though. I mean, this is the thing, is like I said, that men generally tend to cheat physically and women generally tend to cheat like emotionally. That doesn't mean that there aren't women who cheat physically or men that cheat emotionally. Like these people exist across like a spectrum. That's why cheating is just bad. You just shouldn't engage in cheating. That should be the lead. If he led with cheating is really bad, and I would engage, and like I would never cheat, but I think it's a little bit different and have a nuanced conversation about it, that's fine. But he's not saying that. He's leading with like basically it's okay for men to cheat, and that's really the biggest problem with like the framing of this conversation.
Dudes and not care about them is fundamentally broken. Her soul is broken.
Okay, well, she's broken then, but she's still doing it.
Well, if she's broken, she ain't anywhere near me. I don't want no broken bitch near me.
I'm definitely sure women would cheat on you.
You think so? Well, those are the kind of women I will not associate with. Females shouldn't even want to cheat.
Okay.
And the reason women can't cheat is because there's no way to ensure paternity if a female's cheating. Modern science in and of itself, just because you can now find out who the dad is, doesn't undo 5,000 years of
That's an interesting question. If a woman can prove that she can sleep with somebody and doesn't get attached, would he be okay with dating her? No, I don't think he would be. But like, logically, it would be more okay for her. The thing is that like this is one of the bigger problems in like the high value manosphere is that they feel like every woman is the same exact person. They conflate their tastes in a woman with all women that exist, and like that's really it's fucking burp. And then that's one of the issues.
Human evolution in which a female had to be loyal to one man, so we knew exactly who the father was. If a man has multiple partners, you know who the mother is, you know who the father is. If a woman has multiple partners, nobody knows who the dad is, nobody wants to look after the kid, and a woman
Hey, that's why you get the birth control, bro.
with a child without a father or without a man around in the ancient world was toast.
He talks a lot of nothing.
I would never ever be with a girl who cheats on me, and I would never ever.
You can't.
Yes, I
tell
can.
whether a woman's
Yes,
gonna
I
cheat.
can. Yes, I
No,
can.
you can't.
Of course I can.
No, you can't. Like, because the thing is, with like, this is just an assumption. I'm assuming, you have a nice
This is
life.
haram.
No,
It's
but I'm
haram.
saying you have a nice life, you live a good lifestyle. Women will just see you as an opportunity.
If I was
Do you
a
understand?
dumbass, yeah, correct.
Yeah, but this one said, but your attitude is what keeps a woman also. Like, do you think a high-value woman is going to sit there and tolerate a man condescending and talking to her and being like, we're different and we're this, we're that, because we're not? A woman that knows her worth is not going to tolerate that.
As professionals, we discussed
fair.
infidelity of females, and I said that female infidelity is more disgusting than male infidelity. And I think that the world agrees with me. History agrees with me. The Bible agrees with me. The Quran agrees with me. Every single book you can read from history says that females who are promiscuous should either be stoned to death or at least cast out from society. Female promiscuity.
I mean, like, I'm not that book says that women are inferior, gay people are inferior. I mean, that's why I don't particularly slavery is okay in some capacity. That's why I'm not a particularly that's why people are turning away from religion, just letting you know, because of those very regressive attitudes. I mean, like, not to be an asshole, but you're reinforcing your logic with the Bible, which is, it's fine to be religious, but understand that there's no factual foundation for the Bible. That's just a fact of the matter. It's just the reality of the situation. Because nowadays we understand that, like, we have particular, let's say, like a job, from a job perspective, we have particular job availability, and then the person who's best for that job will be able to, like, do that job. It doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. Now, men might be more capable than women in some jobs, and men and women in others than men. But that's how we usually operate. So
Promiscuity is a brand new concept. This is brand new amongst society. The idea that women can sleep with a bunch of dudes and it doesn't matter is a brand new
What does that
idea.
mean?
30, 40 years old, maybe. Even today.
What is women cheating was technically worse because of keeping the bloodline? Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you'd want to keep like the male bloodline. Well, you had a very male dominated society, and you could probably argue that back then, like there was a kind of. You could probably argue that historically, like men were the ones that were like always fighting, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like I get why they may have had those ideas and those ideologies and whatnot, and it was like a very primal, like, oh, the most powerful or whatever man gets, you know, whatever. But times have obviously changed for a reason, and a big part of it's technology, and that there's value on different types of people now. Like your typical brutish, you know, strong person isn't really as necessary anymore, I would argue. Whereas like your where you're like more intelligently capable people that are really technology driven are really much more valuable now. Like Andrew Tate, strong guy, and that's great, but like for the most part, like he's a performer. And of course you need soldiers, and I totally get that. But like even technology is making, you know, is increasing the capability of soldiers. Like get 10, 15, 20 years from now, everybody will be in a fucking like biosuit or like an armored suit anyway. You know, so like Andrew Tate 100 years ago would have probably been like a fucking gladiator. Maybe he would have even been a king. But nowadays he's like a fighter. He's an entertainer. And that's cool. But like that's not as valuable to society comparatively than it used to be. And now people who are like able to be very technology driven and create new technologies, those are the people who really drive our society more than anything else. So
Today, nobody respects it, deep down. When a girl shoots a girl she doesn't like, you know the first thing she does? She's a... You know why? Because they know deep down that female promiscuity is disgusting, it's revolting. So the whole idea of a female wanting to sleep with more than one man at a time is haram. And they know it inside of their souls, inside of their hearts.
I don't think so.
As yes, they do. As does.
I like that. It's like if you tell somebody that there's something inside of their heart or soul, you can't technically clarify. You can't justify that. You can't like personify. Like you can't like. There's no factual foundation in a soul. So it's like you know it in your soul. It's like, well, no. It's like, yeah, you do, because like, but their soul, like, does it exist? Do we have a soul? Like, I don't like. What's your cite your sources? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. So it's really almost like a conspiracy-esque type of a thing.
A man. Whereas a man, if he sleeps with a bunch of chicks, doesn't matter. Who cares?
So would you be with me?
Hey, men used to fuck their sisters too back in the day. Used to keep their bloodline pure. Should we start doing that? You know, yeah.
I'd slept with over 50 men. I'm a high value woman, right?
Is he gonna give us the lock and key
How
thing?
can you be high value if 50 men have slept with you?
What if I've just been single for a long time?
No, unacceptable.
Why is it unacceptable?
Haram. A body count is probably the #1 most easiest way to judge the value of a female.
Why?
I actually think that 19... No. I'm going to say this.
I would say that I would say generally speaking, the body count of anybody is the biggest way to judge them. I mean, but it depends on like when you had that much sex. To be honest with you, I'd say if you're single, and a lot of people get upset when I say this, but if you're like in your, you know, let's say like you're in your mid to late 30s and you're single, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even think body count really matters. You know what I mean? The only thing that I'd be concerned with a lot of people, that if you've had sex with a lot of people, is potentially having like some kind of an STD. That would be like my only real concern. But
I think 99% of the world's problems.
okay.
No one's going to understand this, but if you can extrapolate, if you can listen to this statement and extrapolate it out towards society at large, I think 99% of the world's problems would be solved if females walked through life with their body count on their forehead. Because it would prevent all of the disintegration of morals. It would prevent so many things about the world.
But you know what? There's like
and women would be like, to be with me as a man, I don't want to put another number on my forehead. You have to be a good man. They wouldn't stop fucking these idiots and stop being idiots, and all the idiocy would disappear. All the degeneracy would disappear. Families would return. Virgins meeting their first man, staying with him her whole life and being proud of it. Couldn't we go back to such a beautiful age? All we have to do is start putting numbers on girls' foreheads. We could fix everything.
that attitude is disgusting. It's not.
It's very interesting because I personally, like, I've never had sex with a virgin, so maybe I'm biased. But what's the point? Like, to me, when I want to have historically, when I've wanted to have sex with a virgin woman or a girl, I guess, well, a woman, adults, whatever, it was because I wanted a girl who like didn't have sexual experience. So that I had nothing to compare myself to. Now I don't care though, like because I'm older and I'm good in bed, so I just don't care. So I feel like a lot of that comes from like this insecurity that like you're afraid that another guy is better in bed than you, and like you're kind of afraid of that. That's what it feels like to me more than anything else. But okay.
It's not about women's body count. That would not like minimize any problems. Men like you are the problem, Andrew. Women I myself am one of them. I'm sick of men that have this really disgusting outlook on women, policing women's bodies. Listen, if I want to sleep with this many people, I can and I will. Yeah, but what you're not getting is there's this whole hyper, toxic, independent movement of women, right? We are doing things because it's kind of, now it's our choice, but it's kind of like by force in the sense of, it's like we're so liberated because we're literally exhausted with men on their power trip, on their this. So it's like, oh, if you can do it, we can do it. But this is what I said, but you men that think the way you think have created that.
I understand your point. However, you're wrong.
Do you? I understand your point. Well, what's her point then? Her point is that she's tired of living in a society where there's like these drastic double standards where women can't like just have fun. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody likes to fuck. Everybody likes to come. Everybody likes to have sex. And, so with the fact that women just can't do that because it's seemed as unladylike, it would be considered like a double standard that's not necessary. Like, what does it matter if a woman has sex with a lot of guys? The STD thing is the biggest thing. Personally, I just think that people that have a high body count in general are kind of gross. But that's it. Like, and you don't have to date a girl with a high body count. I do say like it's a little bit weird to me though. Like, what is it? What are you afraid of? Like, are you afraid of the girl? Like, are you afraid of the fact that like they've had sex before and that they might be know that you're not good in bed? Like, I don't quite get it.
She thinks I'm arrogant. I'm being arrogant on purpose. I must admit, annoying her is kind of fun.
Oh.
I think that you know what? I'm being.
That's my favorite troll. You think that I'm really the nasty? It's like the people online who act stupid, and then they're like, "Just kidding, I was trolling you." And it's like, "Well, oh, you got me. I think you're a fucking idiot now. You really trolled the fuck out of me, bro. Like, what? Like, what's the fucking joke? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What did you like? Did you really do anything? You know, like, did you really? What did you really do there? I made you think I was a fucking idiot." It's like, oh, okay. Wow, you really got me there.
So nice. I'm being so nice to you. I say I think instead of I know.
This is him being nice.
The answer is I know. I know. Females who sleep with lots of men, first things first, I don't think that women naturally, intrinsically want to do that. I think that's societal programming. I think that women...
No, I agree. This is...
That doesn't really make any... Wait, what? Hold on.
I think that women... The answer is I know. I know. Females who sleep with lots of men, first things first, I don't think that women naturally, intrinsically want to do that. I think that's societal programming.
I would argue it's the opposite. It's the other direction. I think that it's like societal programming. I mean, there's no way to like 100% know, but I feel like it's more societal programming to say that women don't want to sleep around and have sex to keep them pure for like the relationship. I feel like I don't think that like society's programming women to want to fuck more. I think that women are just as horny as men, or like honestly, or similarly as horny as men. That's pretty much it.
I think that women...
No, I agree. This is what I'm saying to you. Like, there's things that you're saying, like, I don't disagree with certain things you're saying, but going back to my point, it's like by force. Like, it's to prove a point. It's like this power struggle. Like, I personally don't want to sit and sleep with loads of men. I don't care. Like,
Good.
I don't
We're getting somewhere. You see, God, Jesus, I'm getting her. Please, little by little, got 2 hours left. Give me some time. I'll fix it.
No, but if I want to, then I'm going to.
Sorry,
but that's why you need to
little by
understand.
little, little by little.
No, but genuinely, but that's what you need to
No,
understand.
you will not. God.
It's interesting. That's like the same argument that he gave her. It's like, I'm not going to cheat on you, but if I want to, I will. You know.
God will frown upon you. You can't do that.
And you.
What do you mean, and me? It doesn't say in the Bible I can't do that. Read the book. I can do whatever I want. I'm a man. Women can't do those things. It's disgusting. I can't believe it.
Read the Bible. I'm right. Bro, come on. You can't be saying that kind of shit, brother. What the fuck does that mean? You can't cite the Bible. Listen, I love my religious followers, but you just can't. You simply cannot just constantly cite the Bible. It's just not a good. It's just, it's not a good. It's not a great source of factual information. Not sure is he joking? No, I don't think that Andrew's joking. So I think that Andrew is a little bit of a troll. He's a little bit of the jokester from the popular show The Batman. But I don't think everything he says is a troll. I think that he says things that he feels in like a more joking manner. But I don't think that he is just trolling on everything. I think that that's a convenient excuse for a lot of people to be like, this guy's preposterous. There's no way he feels this way. But I do think that he doesn't. I think he does in fact feel that way. So
Poisoning the youth on YouTube.
Why is he shouting?
The idea that a woman can sleep with as many people as she wants just because she wants to is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Every man knows it and every woman knows it. Women should not do that. And the whole idea and the whole concept that females can adopt the promiscuity of males, because males have always been promiscuous. Right?
But there's actually a lot of men that are like good loyal men, just so you know.
Do you think so?
there's
Absolutely.
true, yeah.
Absolutely. I know very good men.
Would you deem them high value men?
Oh, absolutely. Successful. Everything that I listed earlier, 100%.
And they don't cheat, right?
Yeah. It's possible. My dear honey, this no, seriously, this guy is so...
He just doesn't believe anything. Maybe the guy does cheat. I don't really know. He's like, that doesn't exist. This is one of those like huge problems that I noticed, where there are people who think that the way that they are is the way that like everybody should and is. That's it. Should be and is. Like, they're like, well, this is how I am. So that means everybody else is like that. Like, honestly, I referenced like Mr. Girl before, where he's like, oh, I think that everybody has like a sexual proclivity towards fucking children, right? Because that's how he thinks, and he thinks that like, you know, he pushes that onto other people. It's so fucking interesting, and also so ignorant.
Toxic, and the only kind of people that listen to his advice are broke men or heartbroken men that are insecure.
Maybe that's possible. Yeah.
I think that if a man has options over a long enough time frame, he's going to eventually probably explore one of them options. Now, I'm not saying he's going to love another woman. I'm saying that when a man's in love, he only loves one girl. I agree with that. I believe in love. I believe a man cares about a chick. I believe a man should take care of a woman. I believe he should come home to the same place every day. I believe all those things. However, I think if a man truly has options, that both the man and the woman understand that at some point he's going to explore those options. No,
listen, if I'm with you, do you think I'm going to allow you to explore other options? It's either you're with me or you're not. Go be single then.
Cool.
Like what? But realistically, what self-respecting woman is going to sit there and tolerate you?
I don't cheat. I don't cheat. I'm a good man. I don't cheat.
What woman is going to if you have all these other options?
No.
Because I'll tell you what's more.
It's interesting. This is like 24 minutes in, and they've been talking about this topic of cheating for at least like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of the conversation. This is the first time he said that. He even referenced that you'd be a bad man if you cheated. That's like you would generally lead with that information, but he didn't, and it's a little suspect to me.
Powerful. What's more alpha, what's more attractive, and what's more high value is a man that can respect his woman, love her, not cheat on her, not disregard her, not see himself above her, not see him as, you know, she's his slave or anything like that. See her as an equal, treat her with respect, and put on that. That's more powerful. A partnership, 2 people. Not, I'm a man, I have options, I'm going to explore them. Listen, if you're a cheater, you're a cheater. If you're a loyal person, you're a loyal person. That's it.
First things first, men and women are not equal. We'll talk about that in a second. Secondly, is that if a woman sees Chris Brown in the club, do you think she's like, wow, he'll be loyal? Fuck no, she doesn't care. Like, at high enough status as a man, women don't even care about loyalty. Women don't even care about loyalty at high enough status. And I don't cheat. Listen, I'm a man of God. I go to church. I don't cheat. I'm talking about in general.
Okay, but what I'm trying to explain to you, though, is because maybe your perception of what high value woman is warped. Because I'm a high value woman. I make my own money.
I'm clearly not a high value man because I just lost that fucking round.
Possess all the qualities that I listed earlier. Right. I believe I'm not going to be with a man that's going to cheat. I'm not going to look at a man like Chris Brown and be like, oh my God, like he's loyal. You see it as face value. You know he's a cheat, and maybe he'd just be a one-night guy. Just like you men do it to
Would you sleep with him for one night?
I don't think I would.
I hope not, because that would not make you a high value woman.
No, this is what I'm saying, because it's like, when you hold yourself in high regard, you don't need to do those things. So the kind of caliber of women that go for men like that and these opportunities don't have that much self-worth, because it's what you're going to go with a man that's only values you for one night. So it says a lot about the quality of a woman.
Right, so we agree on something.
But I'm saying, so when you generalize about women, don't do that. Because there are many high-value women
who would refuse him,
that will not tolerate that.
Completely. I'm not saying that. My point is, you completely misunderstand me. I'm saying at a certain point, females aren't even interested in loyalty. Do you think all the girls with Dan Bilzerian think he's loyal? I'm not saying every girl will go with him. I'm saying there are certain girls at a certain level of male achievement who are not interested in loyalty.
But is that attractive?
Well, no, but you're saying that at a certain point, women don't care about loyalty. You're making a broad statement, an argument, and then you're saying, but not all women. But it's like you just said all women, and then you're trying to say not all women. Like, I don't even, either you're being dishonest or you just don't really know how to communicate yourself very well.
Like, for me personally, that's not attractive to sit there and see a man that thinks it's cool to have loads of women around him, be like, oh my God, they're bitches, this is that, have all this money. That doesn't impress me. That doesn't impress a lot of women. It's about raising a family. It's about unity. It's like everything that you were saying, that it's not that.
Talking about all these celebrities, XYZ, at high enough value, when they have options, they will explore them. That's what I'm saying. And I'm also saying that if a man did decide to explore his options, it would not be as disgusting as if a female decided to explore options.
Okay, wouldn't it just be disgusting then?
No. It's different if a woman does it. It's different if a woman does it. Everyone watching this knows it's different if a woman cheats. It's different.
Maybe. But this is again, like, this is the thing. He's... The way that he, like, speaks these information is so bizarre. Oh, what the fuck's happening? It can be different, for sure. Not always, though.
Different!
Honestly, men with these sexist views, like, it's so outdated. What kind of relationship do you have with your mother?
A good one.
A good one?
Yeah, I take care of her. And also that paradigm, the whole idea that if you find a man who's good with his mom, then he's good with girls, that's
No, it was just more because I find that your thoughts towards women are quite disrespectful.
You think so? Why?
This arrogance that you've got.
Don't tell me what. I'd actually like to know what I've said so far.
No, I'm just saying it's not. You don't have to say anything. It's like energy speaks volumes because you're not actually listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to everything you're saying. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying women shouldn't sleep with lots of men, and they should fall in love with one man and stay with that man. And if that man takes care of them and ends up across 20 years sleeping with one chick once, you shouldn't leave him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And
that's a completely different thing. I don't know if I agree with that, but that's not the same as saying that it's basically saying it's okay for a man to cheat, which has been his general point for the entire time. That is completely different. Like, that's a mistake. That's what you generally consider that like a really shitty mistake that a man made.
I'm making this completely valid. And if a woman sleeps with one man once, that's unacceptable. If a man does it, it's acceptable. That's the point I'm making.
Do you just want women to be submissive to you?
I think in a healthy relationship, there's always a leader, whether it's the man or the woman. And I think that in the happiest relationships, the man's in charge. I don't think women should be submissive to an idiot. Yeah. And I don't think women should be submissive to any man they meet. And I don't think women should be submissive when they're not rewarded. Right? If a captain is in charge of a ship, he's responsible for the ship, right? Mm-hmm. If he's responsible for the ship, he has authority over the ship.
Okay, but it's I'm a woman, I'm not a ship.
A relationship. So. Okay, the ship is a relationship.
I know exactly what this guy's doing.
Relationship. Oh, understood.
It's like talking in riddles. Like, none of it actually makes sense if you actually listen to what he's saying.
So I think if a man has responsibility and he takes care of the woman and improves her life and makes sure that every single facet of her life, whether spiritual, physical, financial, etc., is taken care of, then he should have some degree of authority. I don't see why a man would take care of a woman and have no authority over her while accepting all of the responsibility that's getting played. You're an independent woman. Maybe you make your own money. You want to do all those own things. That's fine. Fantastic. But if I had a woman, I would say, look, I like that you do your own things. I like that you do your jobs. But let's keep it part-time. I want you to come with me. We got to go here. We got to go there. I'm taking you around the world. You're with me. I'm taking care of you, etc. And I'd expect her to listen to me in return. Why wouldn't she? I'm not going to tell you to do anything wrong or bad. But
I mean, that's fine. You do you in your like own relationship. That's totally fine. But there are women who are more independent. You know.
If I were to say, I don't like that dude. Stop talking to him. I'm her man, not that dude. It shouldn't even be a competition. It should be all right, cool, block. Why wouldn't it be?
But then if I said I didn't like that woman,
I don't know about that.
This is what I'm saying. It's just a double standard, and it's just like a power struggle. Like, it's about. I said I didn't like that.
I'm her man, not that dude. It shouldn't even be a competition. It should be all right, cool, block. Why wouldn't it be?
But then if I said I didn't like that woman.
I don't know what the fuck she's saying. I have no fucking clue what she's saying.
Not that dude. It shouldn't even be a competition. It should be all right, cool, block. Why wouldn't it be?
But then if I said I didn't like that woman.
I don't know.
Oh, if she said if I said that I don't like that woman. So like basically he's saying that like if I'm in control of the relationship as a man, I have the ability, like I basically like I run the shot, I make the calls, I make the shots, whatever. And if I say that I don't like you associating with a guy, then you just don't do that. Okay, that's fair. And it's just like, well, what if I said I don't like it when you associate with some girl? It's like, oh, that's different. No, it's not. Not really. I mean, it's just like it's a sign of like mutual respect. That's the thing. It's a sign of like respect. Well, I understand that men and women tend to be different in different ways. Everybody's different in different ways. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. But realistically speaking, it's a sign of respect to treat somebody as equally as possible. I mean, I think that's really what it just boils down to. It's not like this super complicated, you know, situation. That's pretty much all it really boils down to.
This is what I'm saying. It's just a double standard, and it's just like a power struggle. Like, it's about balance.
Life,
you know, and this is the thing. Like, I feel a lot of women could give you that life and be like, you know what? He can have a girlfriend. He can. There's so many people that are into that.
I'm not even saying no. I'm not.
No, but I'm saying there's people that are into that.
Correct. But I'm not a cheater. I don't want them to think this is about me. I'm talking about in general.
But do you think women want to sit here and look stupid? Like, I might think, do you know what? Actually, I'm listening to everything you're saying. I'm agreeing and I'm liking it. But then, if you've got me out here looking stupid because you might be in clubs with all these women around you, making me look like a idiot, do you think I'm going to tolerate that? No. When you have men like you have explained, it's as if you're trying to prove a point to the world that you're this great man that has all these options and you're so successful.
I agree.
It doesn't work
I
like
agree
that.
with you. If there was a man, which is not me because I'm a one-woman man, but if there was a man who decided to have multiple girlfriends, his approach certainly wouldn't be sitting down and saying it the way I'm saying it. The point I'm trying to make is I think that the idea of a man having a girlfriend who he loves and maybe sometimes stepping out is not nearly as offensive as the idea of a woman having a man she loves and sometimes stepping out. You know, I watched American Pie the other week, and I thought that would have been the best time to be alive. You know, like 2003. Like, you can still call the people you care about if it's a real emergency, but no one's glued to their phone. Yeah. No one's scrolling social media. No one's trying to take an Instagram picture. Everyone's just at the crappy party, enjoying the crappy party. Like, if you go to Dubai and you look around the bar, half the people aren't having fun. They're just purely trying to get Insta stories to look like they're having fun. So it's pure like, ha, 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 ha. Okay, so I think that a lot of people now are doing things not because they enjoy them, because other people will think they're having fun, and it's more about creating as opposed to actually enjoying yourself. Right. If you go on a really fun night out, you don't take your phone out. So when I see someone who went on a night out and took 20 stories dancing and laughing and having a great time, I know they're bored.
Yeah, they're not in the moment.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you really have a great night out, you don't take any stories and you forget to check your phone. Social media has completely and utterly changed the world.
That might be true.
It's changed the way that we function. It's changed the way that we go out. It's changed even the places we go. Social media now runs the world. We live in an attention society, and people will do anything for attention because attention is a currency, and you can turn attention into money. Jake Paul is not rich because he's a boxer. He's rich because he used the attention he gets and monetized it via boxing. So,
well, he didn't really start as a boxer, so like, yeah, of course. I mean, he's not. Yeah, okay, sure.
In the attention economy we now live in, you have to understand that your attention is valuable, especially as a man. And women are out here today trying to extract your attention from you without returning anything. That's what the male-female friendship is. In the old days, men would give attention in return for sex. But nowadays, men just give attention and don't get any sex back. And that's what you have to be very, very careful of. Your attention is extremely valuable. So for all the men out there, if you're following a woman and you have zero chance of fucking her and she ain't replying to your DMs, stop following her. Like, when's the last time you truly lived in the moment?
I personally live in the moment a lot.
No, but that's a good thing, right? That's a beautiful thing. And that's actually an asset. Like, my brother is very similar to that. But the problem is, if you live very, very much in the moment...
Why don't you fuck your brother, bro? I'm just kidding.
And you're not on your phone, I feel like, and I can only talk from the masculine perspective, you're not competitive. Because as a man, you need to be doing things, talking to people, making money, moving things. So you got to be on your phone all the time.
Really like how you just delivered what you said, but I just find it crazy how we've just sat and said about people need to live in the moment and that, but then like
It's a ghost.
You've sold courses trying to explain to people how to be like that. It's just aspire for this.
I understand. I understand what you mean, but unfortunately, and it's an unfortunate reality of the world, is that it's player versus player. Like if you go to a video game, if you play Call of Duty, right? There's 20 people in there, and we're all trying to kill each other. And the world is very, very similar financially. I'm not saying we should be out here killing each other, but I'm trying to explain that there's a certain amount of resource and everyone's trying to get it. And I understand your perspective, but your perspective is feminine, as it should be because you're a woman, right? But the masculine imperative and the masculine perspective is you have to understand that life is war. It's a war for the female you want. It's a competition. Every man's trying to get her. It's a war for the car you want. It's a war for the money you want. It's a war for the status. It's a war. Masculine life is war. If you're a man who doesn't view life as war, you're going to lose. So as a man, you have to wake up and think, okay, everything I want, other men want. I have to outcompete every other man to get it. So how am I going to do that? Am I going to do that by living in the moment, ignoring my phone, having a fun picnic?
Do you believe in men's mental health? You are kind of like the problem in society in a sense of
Thank you.
Fast car, women, lifestyle. But it is. This is the problem.
It's not my problem.
I'm not saying it's your problem directly, but I'm saying this is the problem. Yes, all men probably want to aspire for that. But do you see the pressure there is on men?
Completely. It is much harder to be a man than be a woman.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on men's mental health?
I agree. It's much harder to be a man than be a woman, which is basically what you just said. Society's expectations of men is much higher than the societal expectations of females.
Maybe, but I think that what you're trying to get at more than anything else is that like you generally when you engage in this like concept of like being a high value man, where it's not something that like everybody can, like when I have the concept of like what it means to be like a good man, it's really just about like being the best version of yourself, right? So that's like attainable for everybody. Everybody can work hard to strive towards that and do that thing. His version of what like a value, like a man with any level of value, is somebody who's like rich, blah 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 blah. You know, and a lot of that is hard work, but a lot of it also is like luck and being in the right circumstances. There's a multitude of different aspects there. And so I think, which her argument is, and maybe I'm just fucking like rambling, but her argument is like, no, like when you engage in like the way that you label like high and low value men, et cetera, you're engaging in like, you know, kind of like a toxic aspect of mental health for young men who may not be able to achieve these things that, you know, you say that they should be able to achieve.
Agree. Much more is expected of us. I agree. It's a harder game. Just like every other video game on Earth. It's a harder game, but if you complete it, you get a higher score. I think that being a top-tier male is the best human experience that any human can have. I think that being a female would not compare in any way to being a top-level man.
No, reason why. There's experiences, right? Like women, we can literally carry lives inside of us.
I agree with you, and I'm actually glad you chose that experience because that's the most important thing a female can do, and I agree with you, and I understand it's a beautiful thing because there's no society and there's no world without life. I agree with you. However, I think that as a man, you can build an empire. There's conquest as a man, and I think as a female, it's not quite the same. And I'm not saying this in any kind of way that disrespects
you can still build these conquests as a woman. Okay, whatever.
Females. I don't want people to look at this and think I'm disrespecting females. I'm not. I'm saying we have different roles. We do different things, and women give life. Women have a very, very important role.
Probably well, okay, so like, you are being a little disrespectful. So like, let's say that you have like this idea that like, okay, a woman, you know, women obviously have babies and men can be more domineering, whatever. Women can be domineering, but like, let's say that you don't believe that because you're insane, right? The fact that you're saying that like it just by virtue of being a man, like your life experience is going to be better and more valuable and more important, like yeah, that would be the disrespectful aspect towards women, right? Are you fucking with my tits right now? Holy shit, my balls! I'm fucking angry.
Important role in society. Women are beautiful creatures that do something separate that men cannot do. I think a top-tier male is more unique than a beautiful woman. I think that you get to build an empire. I think that you get to be respected and feared in a way that women never are. I understand that that's a very, very unique human experience, right? Most men never ever get there. The reality of life for most men is absolutely depressing. I completely understand when you talk about mental health.
So have you suffered with mental health?
Fuck no.
No.
Absolutely not. Because I understood that as a man, you must build yourself. As a female, you can be born.
But did you not we need to stop going into philosophies and just stuff because I'm actually I want to understand you.
Okay.
Right. So have you not experienced mental health? No.
Zero.
Okay. So how do you cope with stress and situations? Express your emotions when you're frustrated and when you're stressed.
Good question.
Jerk off and come all the time.
If I'm stressed or I'm frustrated, then I understand it's my time to perform. And I agree that society puts huge pressure on men, and it's time for men to perform. As a man, you either perform or you don't. There's no safety net like there is for females. Females can wake up and say, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, but there is for men.
No, there isn't.
But there is.
The men who say, I can't feel like it, cannot compete with the men who do not say that. And it's player versus player. The man who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how he feels, will always beat the man who goes.
So it's interesting because, I know what he's saying. If you look at the statistics for people that are on welfare services, women tend to be disproportionately on there. Men tend to be disproportionately. Men tend to be more disproportionately homeless and whatnot. And if you kind of look at it and you think about it critically, part of it, yeah, maybe it's the dynamic in that we put higher stipulations on men. There's also an aspect though that a lot of these homeless men are drug addicts that have gone through a lot of shit. A lot of them are homeless veterans and whatnot who've gone and fought, and our societal systems are just not being supportive of them where they should be because they promise to be, but they just simply fail emphatically for that. So part of that you could argue is sex or gender related or whatever. Part of that's just a system failure relation, possibly. The thing is that there's generally going to be more job opportunities for men than women. Just fundamentally, we tend to allow more experiences for men to be a little bit broader ranged in their ability, to work. Just generally, fundamentally speaking, a lot of times we may push women away from particular fields just because on the virtue of being a woman. Andrew Tate clearly would be fine with that because he's very open to forceful gender roles. He's been very expressive about that. And so it's those types of things that happen. There are women who are pushed away from STEM, for instance, because they're women. Just it. Yeah, you're a woman. Maybe you won't like this. Maybe you'll like something else. When it comes to a man, you don't really face those same issues. So there's really pros and cons being a man and a woman. One of the you could argue one of the reasons why women don't have necessarily as much access to being as successful is because society tells them they shouldn't try to be, That's not always the case, and that's changing, but...
Goes to the gym when he feels like going to the gym. And it's player versus player. And let me tell you something. As much as you want to sit here and disagree with me, it's women who decide who the winner is. You will choose the man who's in fantastic shape. You'll choose the man with all his money right.
I like a dad bod, personally.
Okay, well, then maybe you're an exception because you're an angel. But in general, we're talking in generalizations because exceptions do not disprove the rule. Females will choose the man who's in fantastic shape. Females will choose the man who's got his money right. Females will choose the man who can fix any problem. Females will choose the man when they can go to him and say, everything's can you fix this? And he says yes without panicking. That's who women want. Women decide who the winner is. Women don't.
I wonder if these two dated, if she really does like dad bods, and she ended up getting him to become lazy and start to kind of just mope around and eat potato chips all day until he got fat. And then she left him. And then he's like, I knew it. I shouldn't have gotten fat. You imagine?
Man, when you come to him with your problems and he goes, I'm too stressed today. Tell me tomorrow. No. Women don't want that.
But women also don't want to.
Well, women, a lot of times men just don't give a fuck about women's issues. I don't know what you're talking about. This, what are you talking about? Traditionally, men just don't care about women, whatever women are going through. They just minimize what's going on in their lives, you seem to be kind of doing. So, I feel like you're not really being super honest about your just that your display of information isn't particularly honest,
Dickhead.
But having your life in order doesn't make you a dickhead.
You can have all those things,
right.
But then there's that fine line where your ego gets a bit too much. For example, you could be very successful. You can have good-looking women that are attracted to you. You can just have all those qualities,
dude,
but then once you possess that, you then suddenly can go past that line, your ego, then you start to become an arsehole.
I agree with you, but I'm not talking about that. I think that's a separate conversation.
No, I'm just saying, no, I agree with everything. That's what I'm saying. For me, I agree with everything you're saying, but what I'm trying to argue is the men get successful, they become even more narcissistic, and they just are not nice people to be around.
You're very, very smart.
Thank you.
You are. But you're doing what most females do, and you're conflating issues. So when you conflate, what you do is you mix two issues together.
You're very smart, but women are dumb fundamentally, and you're a dumb woman. That's literally what he just said. Jesus Christ. How much more based can you get?
No, I've just been asking you personal questions,
Correct.
And every time you give me a philosophy.
No, it's not a philosophy.
No, but I'm saying in general, when I'm asking you, I'm trying to get to know you on a level. How does a woman like me get to know a gentleman like you?
Here at this beautiful, nice, civil dinner we're having here with no animosity at all. You asked me about men's mental health. My answer was explaining that as a man, you don't have the luxury oops, I don't feel like it. You can do it.
You can, but I'm sorry, I know I keep cutting you, but I'm just like, because this is the part that gets really frustrating for me. Like men with this mindset that you have, like I get it. Okay, great, you are alpha, you've achieved
It's
all
not
these
about
things.
alpha.
No, but I'm saying like you possess all these. It's great, but you are the problem. You're creating this pressure
I'm not
on
creating a
men and
problem.
society. Like
No,
it's so
I'm not
competitive.
creating a
But
pressure.
But men can actually, successful men can actually be like, oh, okay, I don't actually feel like it today. Like they actually
I
can
understand.
take a break and rest at that.
I understand. My point is that it's player versus player. And if you're a man who's going to constantly give in to mental health problems or mental health trouble, you're not going to be able to compete with the men who don't.
Okay, but can we
That's
validate
it.
men that have
Completely. If you have mental health,
So we can't go player. Just validate men that have mental health issues.
absolutely.
Okay.
Men who have mental health issues, I wish them the best in the world.
Okay, great.
But when they come to me and say, and I get this all the time, Andrew, I have this problem, I'm depressed and I can't go to the gym. I say, no, I disagree. You're depressed because you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you might start to feel better, right? I'm saying you can't sit as a man and afford the luxury of saying, I have a mental health issue today, I'm sad today.
I mean, I just think that nobody can really afford to just allow themselves to be consumed by their mental health issues. Like, I mean, even women. Okay. You know? Because like by your own logic, you'd be like, yeah, like if a woman isn't like dealing with their mental health issues, et cetera, then they'll end up becoming lazy and then undesirable and et cetera, to a man. So
I'm stressed today, I'm emotional today, I can't work, because you will lose against the men who don't do that. And the male world is more competitive than you could possibly imagine. And it's the women who pick the winners. So I find it very interesting that a woman sits here to me and says, no, men are allowed to sit around and do fuck all and feel sad. And those are the men they ignore when they DM.
No.
Those are the men they ignore them all.
No, actually, can I just chime in here? So, for example, everything you've said, you've possessed, you've proved your point, right? But as a high-value woman, if I respect and love my partner, I'm not putting that pressure. I would say, babe, you know what? You can have a little rest. Like, there are women that actually enable men to process that emotion.
Agree.
But yeah, so we'll still go back to tomorrow. Okay.
Agree.
Let's go back to work. But there are good women out there that don't put that pressure. I feel like your reality on women is warped because of a certain caliber of women. Yes, it is.
I agree. You're right. But you're missing a very vital point of that story. You're right. But as a high-value woman, before you say to that man, you can have a day off and you're allowed to be sad today, you will only even get with him. Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along and pretend they give a fuck about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and...
Going to a club and getting attention is not the same thing as like a relationship, though. Like, yeah, overweight women can like fuck whoever they want. Well, not whoever they want, but they generally it's easier for an overweight woman to fuck an overweight man. But like that's not like relationship wise. Like most people don't really give a fuck. So like your logic is like bizarre here. It's so weird. We fluctuate between like valuing just exclusively sex, or valuing like relationships. Okay.
Nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to. Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even fucking exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So for you to sit here and say, I'll get a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would. Yeah. But if a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately...
Yeah, but again, I would argue that anybody who like succumbs to like mental health issues and is like basically somebody who is lazy in some capacity, whether it's justifiable or not, that's basically what we're talking about, is going to be considered like lower value to society. They're going to struggle to be able to like get any real relationships in general. So like this is like a similar issue for men and women. I get what he's saying, but...
competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important. Maybe it's a chick. You don't always put
I mean, women don't really get to just say, I'm sad, I'm taking 2 weeks off. Again, like, nobody really gets to do that. Especially in a society where women also have to work. I don't really know what you're talking about.
Foundation on be hot again. Great. Not as a man. If you want to be important as a man, you have shit to do. You have duties. This is how it exists. This is how it's always been.
Duty.
Why are you wearing glasses?
Sunglasses.
Yeah, we're inside.
We are inside. Very perspicacious of you. I have bad eyes.
Yeah, bad eyes.
I have bad eyes because after so many fights in the ring, I had a retina detachment, and there's a lot of bright lights here, and it makes my eyes very uncomfortable. I don't want to squint on camera, so I'm wearing sunglasses. So if you want to continue to make fun of my medical condition.
Why did I make fun of it?
You just tried. I know you just tried. No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
No, it was a genuine...
I think he's half kidding, but like, what a weird, sensitive statement to make. You want to make fun of my medical condition? All right, relax. I think she was just... Why are you so fucking like sensitive about that?
Question.
Yeah. Try to make more money. It's fine. First is men's mental health, but if you got retinal detachment, it's fine. No, ha ha ha.
Actually,
it's funny now.
Actually, I was asking you because
True. I would
eye
say,
contact
yeah,
is important to gauge conversation.
Is it?
I
Do you
want to
wanna look in my
know,
eyes?
like how we're enjoying it. Yeah.
Let me see. Give it a few minutes.
It's, etiquette, isn't it?
It is. You're right. It's polite. You're right. It's polite.
Perfect.
It's polite.
Can we do a cheers? The glasses off. Cheers.
To detach retinas. Cheers.
Cheers.
Are you happy?
I think that money buys freedom and freedom buys happiness. I think that the rich people of the world, the number one most intelligent thing they did was convince poor people that money isn't happiness. And I think they did that to prevent revolts. I'm not saying money is the only thing that can make someone happy.
I don't think that anybody convinced anybody that money isn't happiness. I think... Okay. I don't know if rich people convince anybody of that. I don't think anybody's walking around going, I don't need money. I think most people are walking around saying, I need money. This is just kind of like a bizarre, like tangent rant that he's going to go on. There is a diminishing returns on money depending on like your state, like where like you don't necessarily become happier. That's definitely a true statement. Okay.
Happy. I'm not saying money alone will make you happy, but money is certainly a factor to happiness.
Yes.
It's kind of, you agree, right?
What did I just do? Fuck.
Money isn't real.
It's so annoying. Everybody believes that. Like you're not giving us a hot statement.
Come on.
No.
You look strong.
Look, I'm a nice feminine lady.
Sorry, I just need to figure out where we're at. Okay.
Alone will make you happy, but money is certainly a factor.
Nobody thinks that money isn't a really big factor. I don't know what he's just like making himself up at this point. Okay.
To happiness.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you agree, right? It's like water, right? Water won't make you happy, but if you have no water after a week, you need water. It's all you think about, right? It's the same deal. You can't go without it. So the rich people always say money doesn't
Can you even go a week?
buy happiness, but do they ever give their money away?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you give your money.
Well, I mean that's because rich people, the more money that they have, it's like, again, you hit like a point of diminishing returns. I think it's like annual, like in the United States, like $80,000 a year generally, depending on the state per household. But it depends on the state. Like New York, obviously, it's not going to be as much. But okay.
Anyway.
I have a charity which I own, which takes care of street dogs in Romania. So I rescue dogs.
That's really lovely.
Thank you. See?
Something.
Oh, that's really nice. See, look,
I mean, that's nice, but like, what a waste of money. I'm not trying to be a fucking asshole or anything, but it's like you rescue dogs. Oh, okay. It's fucking dog. All right, that's cool, brother. But you know, it's probably better things to give a shit about than fucking dogs. But okay.
it's much better.
That's
like,
right.
do charity work, glasses are off. It's
getting
like actually connecting with a real human.
I'm a real human.
You look really nice. And you smell nice.
Thank you. I'm
That's nice.
yeah, dressed up for you, of course.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see someone make the effort, you know?
Where I'm from, in Eastern Europe, I always wear a suit because we can carry weapons over there. Here in London, it's a little bit different. We have to take security with us. But where I'm from, you have the jacket because you have the strap. It's different game.
So did you walk around with a weapon? No.
Dangerous,
Wait.
dangerous man.
Yes.
Enemies are watching. Listen, I'm ready. Let's leave it at that. But I'm very security conscious now. And I think that there's a difference between fighting and violence. And even though I'm a professional fighter, if you want to be a professional violence, you need a weapon at some level.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Interesting.
Grilling.
Just imagine in these scenarios we are together. Okay. What would you do if I wanted to start an OnlyFans?
I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with women doing OnlyFans. As long as I had influence and control over it.
What do you mean? Do a bit of photographer and get the angles, yeah?
No. I'm not doing any real work, but just like taking all the money. If my chick said I want to do OnlyFans,
Well, that's like weirdly, somehow he turned this into prostitution. Like, I think it's perfectly reasonable for someone to be like, I don't want you to OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like, that's perfectly reasonable. But like, his only concern is like, he wants to take the money. That's just weird. Why? Why do, like, dude, everything... That just, okay, for the most part, like, when I listen to this, I'm like, okay, this guy's just kind of, like, whatever. He has his own ideas about, like, the relationship to women, and that's fine. And I disagree with him in a lot of ways, because he seems to have this general idea that, like, women are valueless, other than their body, and, like, I just disagree with that, because I think women are a lot more than that, and can be in a relationship. But now he, like, wants to control his, like, his girlfriend's OnlyFans. That just reads as really fucking... That just reads as, like, weird and uncomfortable to me. It just seems bizarre.
OnlyFans, I'm like, all right, then cool, go do it. How much you made? 10 grand, all right, give me 8. All right, cool.
Why would... What
Why?
woman is going to give you 8 grand?
Because you're my woman, you're doing OnlyFans, you're selling my product. What the fuck?
Your product.
Yes,
Women,
correct.
it's not
Next
your
question.
product. No. Product.
We're bordering some form of prostitution here, okay.
Like, do you own me? No, sorry. Like, your ego's a bit too big. You don't own me. I'm not a product. I'm not an object. Okay, Mr. Tate?
I'm just answering it.
I don't know if you're being serious.
I'm totally serious. How would I let my chick do OnlyFans and keep all the money? That's disrespectful.
What woman is
Why is
ever going to give you
disrespectful?
that?
Then she better not do OnlyFans. Duh.
Oh my God.
That upset her, didn't it? It upset her to say that you're mine, and if you're mine and men want to pay for it, then the money is mine. But that's the basic dynamic of a relationship. You're mine. So if you want to sell what is mine,
I mean, that is the basic dynamic of a relationship, is that, like, you just, yes, this is the thing, is that men in a relationship, the two people engaged in it, I mean, I guess there's people that engage in more, but they own each other in some capacity. Yeah, but that's just like a weird thing to do. Instead of saying, give me 8, why wouldn't you just be like, oh, buy me a thing, I guess. Since you have more financial freedom, you can, you know, pay for dinner more often, or you can buy the groceries or something. I don't understand why you would need to take, like, are you directly giving a woman like a percentage of your money? That's so bizarre. Okay, I guess just don't listen, guys, just don't date Andrew Tate. That's very much what you're hearing here.
And that's fine, but
You heard it here first.
What would you do if I couldn't cook?
That's fine. We eat out every day. No problem. I haven't had a home-cooked meal in years anyway.
No way.
No, I eat
Why?
out nearly every day, 3 times a day.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Always traveling, always moving. Even when I'm home, it's same restaurants. So
Do you ever want to just settle down? I feel like your life just seems like it's just really fast paced. Do you not want just a nice woman?
if she cooked for me, that'd be beautiful, but it's not a deal breaker.
Okay, I like that. What if I earned more money than you?
Impossible.
You never know.
No, impossible.
Really?
Literally impossible.
Is it impossible?
Literally impossible. Numbers don't go that high
Wow.
in this question.
Wow.
It's impossible for her to earn more money than me simply because of her ethos towards life. Her ethos towards life is about moments and memories. My ethos towards life is about conquest. And those are very, very different things. I completely understand that she enjoys things which are not congruent with trying to conquer Earth. She wants time off. She wants holidays. She wants to enjoy time with friends. She wants to do a bunch of things that don't make money. I want to make money. It's impossible she could ever earn more than me because we have completely different life philosophies.
Okay.
What would you do if I didn't like your lifestyle?
What aspect of my lifestyle?
Maybe it was too flashy for me, flying around too much. Maybe I just want you to just slow down. It's a bit too fast paced.
I understand. And I would respect the point of view.
So what are you doing?
I don't think I'd listen. My lifestyle got me to where I am, and I'm a.
I mean, that's fair. I get that. Not changing your entire lifestyle because somebody didn't like it. That's, you know, I understand making like concessions, but like, it seems like it could be a little too far. Sure.
In the way he believes true. I would listen and I would understand it and I would do my best to accommodate, but I don't think I would change. If you were to say, look, you can't do this anymore, I'd say, oh, I'm going to do it anyway. Sorry. Yeah, I'll try to make you feel better about it, but it's going to happen.
What if your family didn't like me?
That's no big deal.
Not a big deal?
Nah. The only person I'm super close with is my brother.
Okay.
And my brother wouldn't dislike you unless he had a reason, like a genuine reason. And if he disliked you, I'd dislike you, so then game over anyway.
Okay.
Not because he dislikes you, but because we have the same standards of life. There's no way he could dislike you without me disliking you.
So there's literally like 2 of you that have these mad views.
My views are not mad. What have I said so far?
what?
What have I said so far? Women shouldn't be hoes. Man should have some authority because he should take care of his chick. Chick shouldn't talk to a bunch of dudes.
Why are you shouting?
It's important
Yeah,
to the
why?
mic.
No, it's not, because Joe
And that's it. That's all I've said. And you're saying I got crazy views.
But don't they say like the loudest person in the room is the weakest?
Am I weak now?
No, but I'm just saying, don't people say that?
Let's have an
like,
arm
if this
wrestle.
is, I'm not doing an arm wrestle.
Come on, I
I'm
want
not
to see
doing
it.
that.
Come on.
No.
You look strong.
Look, I'm a nice feminine lady.
It's
who
so
likes to
weird.
do these activities, okay? What would you do if I wanted to invite other people into our sex life?
Well, obviously, I'm going to ask if it's boys or girls. But even then, even if it was girls, it'd be weird. I think it'd be a bit strange. If I had a girlfriend and she said, I really want you to fuck this chick, I'd be like, this is not the normal feminine mindset. You must not like me. And it just seemed odd to me. Something would be up.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by that answer. I don't know why. I feel like you'd be the type of person that would want loads of threesomes and stuff and feel like, yes, this lifestyle, I'm the man.
Sex in and of itself is boring. Any man
Why?
who sits and says that sex is great or sex is fun just clearly hasn't had enough sex, because sex is boring. Sex
What?
Want loads of threesomes and stuff and feel like, yes, this lifestyle, I'm the man.
Sex in and of itself is boring. Any man who sits and says that sex is great or sex is fun just clearly hasn't had enough sex, because sex is boring.
Self-report.
Sex is a chore. Sex is like food. You don't really care unless you're really hungry, and then you eat, and then you don't care again. And it's one of those things you do every once in a while because it's an urge, but it's not a real big deal. Like every person needs food, and every person likes food.
Have you ever been in love?
Completely. But
So about having sex and making love, different.
No. If you're in love, you might want sex more often. You might be hungry more often. My point is that if you're someone who goes through life and only talks about and cares about food, it's a bit weird. Same thing with sex. Sex is something that happens.
Sure, but that's not what. But that's not what's like happening here. You're just saying that you don't really like sex. You find it boring. That just feels like a self-report. Okay.
And this happens between people who love each other, and it's a great thing. But it's not the be all and end all of life. It's really not that great. I don't think sex is the most stimulating and interesting thing in the world.
Maybe not, but like the way you're talking about it, it's not like you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not like I don't think sex is like the most incredible thing. Maybe it's overrated. Okay, like fine, like that's a fine perspective to have. Like whatever. Not really what you're saying though, is it? Like that's what you're saying is that like you're just not really, you think it's boring. I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of a bizarre thing to say, you know?
Doesn't matter who the girl is, doesn't matter if you love her or not. I don't think it's the greatest, best thing in the world. Any dude who's out here is like, wow, 2 pairs of tits. Just hasn't fucked very much. Who gives a shit?
It feels like you're not that good in bed. It's just weird. What are you doing in the bedroom? I don't know. Okay.
think you've overachieved so much already. This is why you're kind of like,
Jaded? No. I just think that men who are super interested in sex or sexual fantasies of these things are men who are semi-deprived. If you have an abundance of food, if you have a fridge full of food all the time, you don't eat all the time. Sometimes you just don't want to. It's always there, right? But if you're starving, as soon as food appears, you're all over it. It's the same with sex. Any dude is like, wow, threesome, okay, I need. It's a guy who's deprived. A guy who has as much as he wants all the time ain't going to be really that interested in it.
so you're comparing women to food. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I have really good sex with my wife. I'm not deprived of sex. Like, I really enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Okay, whatever.
What would you do if I was going on girls' holidays every other month?
I'd have to shut that down. I think it's disrespectful.
Why?
Do you go on a lot of holidays?
I can do whatever I want.
We're not actually going to go there with
Why?
this bullshit.
What do you mean
Like,
bullshit?
double standard shit. This man has so many double standards, like it actually doesn't make sense. I think he honestly believes like his own rubbish.
It's not double standards.
Yes, it is.
There's different standards.
But I'm saying, but if you're
That is
out,
a double standard. I mean, literally, she's like, what if I go on a vacation with my girlfriends every other month? And he's like, no, I have to shut that down, but I can do it if I want. Why? Like, what's the logic behind that? Like, why are you afraid of your girlfriend going on a fucking on a vacation with their friends? That I don't understand.
every month doing this, doing that,
Correct.
I'm going to do the same to
No,
keep
no,
myself
no,
entertained
no,
and occupied.
no.
Yes, what you think I'm going to wait at home for you?
Yes.
And just wait there and look like an idiot. Then
Yes.
probably see you
You
upload
don't
on
look like-
Instagram. Here's this lifestyle to learn and see
You
you
don't look like an idiot. You look like a loyal woman, as you should. There's no way I would allow there's no way I would allow you to go on all these girls' holidays. That's very disrespectful. I'm a
Why?
territorial man. That does not mean jealous or insecure. It means I care about you. Anything I care about, I want to protect.
Wait, is he trying to say that like he's like worried that she'd be fucking around with like a dude or something? Like, what's the logic here? Why is he so worried about this? This seems bizarre to me. Like, what's the concern in this guy's head? Is he concerned that like she might be fucking around? Maybe you choose a better woman, I guess. It's just a little confusing to me.
Love. It doesn't matter how much you love me back. Doesn't matter if no man on earth can talk you into bed. It's not about that. It's about the disrespect.
It's okay for you to disrespect me.
Why is it
It's not disrespectful for me to go on holidays or go work with my boys.
What if my holidays are work trips?
No, that's impossible. You're not running the world like I am. That's bullshit.
How do you know?
I know these things. Don't lie to me.
This is what I'm saying, but you wouldn't.
Don't lie to me. It's absolutely disrespectful for a woman to be with a man and then want to run around with her girls and pretend she's still single. She shouldn't even want to. The fact she even...
It's a really weird perspective because when I hear going on a holiday or on a vacation, I just think of like my wife going out with maybe a couple of friends and seeing some shows and maybe doing this and that and whatever. And I enjoyed time with my wife, so I would just go with her to wherever we're gonna go. But he thinks about like this weird like lifestyle. He thinks about like a lifestyle of trying to fuck. Dating, like that's what vacations to him are, some kind of like dating ritual, which suggests to me that when he goes on vacation, that's what he's doing. It sounds like you're projecting. And yeah, this guy is like super insecure.
even asked to go in and of itself is disrespectful. I shouldn't have to tell her not to do that.
Listen, I'll call all of my girls and go on a girls' holiday just to piss you off, mate. What if I went on holiday twice a year with the girls?
You wouldn't want to.
I definitely would.
No, you wouldn't. No, you're with me. You don't want to. We go on holidays together. We go places together. When I have to go places with just the boys, you stay home. You do not go on girls' holidays. It's disrespectful. I find it disrespectful. It's like a slap in the face.
How is it?
Because why would you want to do that if you're with a man you love? You wouldn't want to do that. I shouldn't even have to tell you not to do that.
So you're going to have me just at home looking stupid whilst you're doing that
How
lifestyle?
do you look
Yeah, but I'm
stupid?
saying if you're just going to go up and do
You're
lifestyle-
obsessed with people thinking you look stupid.
yeah, I'm
no,
obsessed with the double
people,
standards.
no, people will look at you and go,
Well, no, when she says look stupid, like she's saying that he's being disrespectful to her. She's not really obsessed with it. She's just like communicating a point. You know.
wow, she is a loyal wife.
But that's
who
for you and
obeys-
me, though. But this is for your. It's not about obeying.
Yeah, it is. She
I
loves her
don't
man,
know.
she's
I
a-
don't know anybody in my life that like if my wife went on a vacation, they'd be like, "Wow, she is not loyal." That's unhinged. That's an unhinged perspective.
To go on one of these girls' holidays to Ibiza, run around being a hoe. She's over
How
all
am I
that
being
shit.
a hoe? I think it could just be like women just go on holiday to have fun.
And men will try and sleep with you.
So?
So
Doesn't
I-
mean the women are.
Correct.
This is what I'm saying. You
Agreed.
This
No,
narrative.
agreed.
No, but you
Agreed.
have warped reality.
It's not warped reality.
Yes,
We
you do.
agree.
Yes, you do.
We agree.
Okay.
No, you're not moving on to the next question.
we are moving
No,
on.
we agree.
Okay.
We agree. You're right. They're going to try, and you're not going to let them. I agree. If I walk out to the car park, it doesn't matter how good the locks are on my car. If someone's trying to break into my car, am I going to let them keep trying? No. No. It's disrespectful. It's mine, and no one comes near it because it's mine. No one's going to try and steal it. For me to I'll put it in a place where people are going to try and steal it is nothing less than irresponsible. My female is taken care of and has a fantastic life. She does not need to go on holidays, fucking Mykonos and be a hoe on some random.
Is he worried about her getting raped? I'm like a little confused. Like putting him in a spot where they wouldn't take it. Like just tell your girlfriend not to go to a suspicious place. Okay.
But that's
Some random table because her friend met some dude on fucking Tinder. No, stay home. Stay home.
Yeah, but it's not. But this is like I feel like you're enabling to this whole like controlling and manipulating.
It's not controlling.
Yes,
It is
is.
very
To say
controlling.
to say to
Just say
a
it, but the way you just said it, yeah, with that kind of like,
tenacity.
yeah, like for me, it's just yeah.
It's not controlling to say to your woman,
okay,
if you
but
want a
the way you
holiday,
said
we'll
it
go. Yeah, the way I said it angered you
Yeah.
because everything I say is deliberately designed to anger you.
It's you have
Well,
this
it's
power and control issue,
childish,
and I feel like it's
obviously.
just mad.
It's
like,
not power
going
and
on
control.
holiday, with your, like, girls going on holiday with their friends is not an unreasonable thing. It's a normal thing. Women should be able to do it.
In some relationships.
Okay.
But in my
Okay,
relationship.
just not in this one.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
cool. What would you do if we just met and we've had a one-night stand and I've got pregnant?
The baby's innocent, right? I'd look after the child. It depends on a lot of scenarios afterwards. I'd make sure the child's financially taken care of. If you were prepared to be a loyal woman, I'd make sure you were taken care of. If you're going to start sleeping with other dudes, whatever, then it's your problem. The baby's your problem, it's not your problem. But if you're going to be loyal to me still, then I'd take care of you. But if you're going to start saying, oh, no, I've got a new man now, cool, he can pay the bills, and it's not my problem.
No, when you have a child, that's your responsibility.
No, but if you want to start sleeping with other dudes, then it's his problem. It's an accident, right? So you shouldn't be punished in life, and the child's absolutely not innocent. I would take care of you completely. And I'd take care of the child completely. And I'd always want to see the child. But if you were to say now, after, let's say, a year or 2 years, whatever, I have a new man now, blah, 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 like, all right, cool, kids with me twice, 2 days a week, whatever it is, I'll make sure the kid's looked after. But I'm not financing you and another man's lifestyle. I'm not just sending money to your bank at random and just making sure that you and this dude, whoever he is, are going on holiday. And whatever,
I feel like people don't really understand what, like, what child support is for. It's really bizarre, right? Like, this is it's a bizarre thing. I feel like I shouldn't have to do this, but I feel like I do because people just don't get it. Because what he's saying is, like, if you're with another guy, I'm not financing your lifestyle. Okay. Let's say you have, like, your kid, right? And let's just say, oh, that's a weird looking K. You have your mother. That's a weird looking K still. You got your mommy, and then you got your daddy, right? This kid costs money. Let's say this kid costs $1,000 a month. That's cheap as fuck. This kid lives in a hole in the wall, right? And this mom is single, right? At this point, let's say that she's, like, single. Okay. This kid costs $1,000 a month. Right, so the idea of child support is like, hey, listen, like, let's just say theoretically the dad gives $500 a month. Okay, that makes sense. This way it goes to the mom, and then the mom takes $500, bada bing, bada boom. That gives them $1,000, and this is a very obviously simple way to do this. Boom, we're done. Right, you're spending the money on the kid. If this mother gets a boyfriend, the child doesn't all of a sudden become cheaper. Like, so if you're still giving the it's not like, oh, well, I'm not giving the money anymore. The boyfriend might have money to spend in the relationship, but, like, that child's responsibility is still the responsibility of, like, the mother and then the biological mother and father. So, like, you're giving them money and they might be using money to go out, but they're still using that money to contribute to the kid. It's just such a weird perspective for him to have. It's just bizarre, but okay.
I'll take care of the child while he or she is with me, and I'll always see the child. But if you have a new man, you have a new man. You ain't my problem anymore. You got to pay your own rent.
No, but I feel like you still need to cover some sort of responsibility there. It's not, I'm not
some
asking you
sort.
to pay my whole rent. I'm just saying.
Okay, some sort. Yeah, but some sort is a
No,
reasonable
what you're
balance.
saying, I agree with what you're
But
saying.
if they're going to come along and say, oh, you're rich, give me 10 G's a month, and you're fucking some next dude, the answer is no.
Okay, but with that scenario, how do you know women aren't going to try and trap you?
I'm not a fool.
You're not a fool.
No.
Nice. Not a fool.
Good question. All right.
Yeah, I do. You don't? Do you like receiving it?
Absolutely.
Not another one.
Don't.
Wait, what did she say? Hold on. Oh, do you give head?
Good question.
It was, do you give head? I was like, what? They just kind of skipped around. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I do. You don't? Do you like receiving it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Another one.
That's weird.
Don't, my dear. Listen.
Oh, here he
it's
goes.
been a long evening, and it's been very enjoyable. Let's not start talking.
All right, I want to know his rationale behind not eating pussy, though. That's my question. I need to know, like, what is it? Is it because, like, you don't? Is it because, like, if a woman had an abortion, you don't want to eat that pussy because there's ghosts in there? Like, what's the rationale behind not eating a woman out? Like, your woman, right? Like, I wouldn't eat some fucking girl out that I just met, of course. But, like, if it's my girl, why the fuck wouldn't you eat her pussy? I don't understand.
About how men and women are different again. You know, you're yes, I'm no. It's fine. We're opposites. Okay, it's how it should be. Women are supposed to do certain things that men can't do. Women are very talented, beautiful creatures. You can give life. We can't do that. It's fine.
He's. What are you talking about? Now men can't eat fucking pussy. I'm so confused, Andrew. What are you saying, Andrew? What the fuck's happening right now, Andrew Tate? What is the biological fucking aspect of not eating a girl's fucking pussy out? I don't get that.
You can give head. We can't do that. This is not for the G's.
Yeah, she said that she sucks dick and she enjoys, and he says he doesn't enjoy. Well, I guess he would enjoy sucking dick, but he doesn't enjoy eating. He doesn't eat girls out. I want to know the high value man rationale behind not eating a woman out.
Out here doing this, but ain't me. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of men out there who will do it.
Do you not want to please your woman, though?
There's plenty of ways to please a woman without doing that.
That's a big factor. That's a good one, essentially.
Maybe for you, I think that it's possible to please a woman without it.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay, so
Of course, you could please. I mean, I don't always eat my wife out. But she likes it. You know, like I don't understand. This is so bizarre. Like, what? He's not giving us a direct answer either. He's being very like he's tiptoeing around the answer there. I wonder what it is. I wonder what, like, there's a difference between saying like I just personally don't like eating girls out versus like some bizarre high value male like bullshit, which is basically what he's like fucking spouting. He's like, men and women are just different. Like, what do you mean men and women are just different? Like that's not like, you could be like, yeah, I just personally don't like it. Why does it have to have anything to do with the differences between men and women? Like, it's really bizarre. It doesn't even make sense. It's fucking unhinged, bro. It's unhinged.
I don't think it's something that is conducive to a healthy relationship. It's not something I'm very interested in.
What?
Personally.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy.
It's not. What do you mean? It's not Wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Are you saying that relationship can't be healthy if you eat a girl out? This is very confusing. Very confusing, of course.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm going crazy. Yes. No. You wouldn't.
No.
Why?
Why the fuck would I?
What's the question? Holy shit. Would you stay friends with an ex? No, of course not.
Yes. No. You wouldn't.
No.
Why?
Why the fuck would I?
Why would you?
Like
Yeah.
to maintain like a good relationship.
What?
No
What is
need.
this? These lies in my...
How's it a lie? It could be like a good woman.
I personally don't think that like you should maintain a relationship with an ex at all. I wouldn't really be comfortable with my wife having like a friends with like an ex. It wouldn't make sense unless they're like a middle school ex. Yeah. So.
Let's talk about masculine and feminine friendship. I understand why you'd be friends with an ex. Because you can gain things, right? You're friends with that man. He might, I don't know, occasionally buy you some dinner, or he might pick you up, or he might help you.
Because he's my friend.
Yeah, it's because he's your friend. Correct.
You know, no things, just a friend.
Yeah, that's right. It's just a friend who'll do some things for you. As a woman, what things will you do for him?
I'm here. I'm a really good friend, actually.
Chat shit on fucking WhatsApp, anything else?
No, I saw them, checking on them. Like the things that I feel like men need, like we do as women.
Men will do real things for you. A female friend won't do shit for you besides try and get attention out of you. That's it. It's a waste of time to have female friends as a man. Complete waste of...
Oh, I mean, I don't agree with that. Having female friends is like, I mean, there's a difference between having an ex as a friend and a woman as a friend. Those are two very different things. Like, you could have a very positive experience with a woman as a friend, depending on the context of like the friend. I'd be like, yeah, you know, I have women friends, you know, especially I guess in like the sphere, the commentary sphere and whatnot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get what I get out of them is a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, about some kind of like nuanced topic. I mean, but like, there's a difference between being friends with a woman as a man and being friends with an ex as a man or an ex as a person, and that's the problem that I have. I don't really understand. Like, you don't have to be friends with women, but like he's conflated relationships with an ex to relationships with a woman in general, and that's just fucking weird.
Of time. They don't give you anything. Being friends with an ex, I completely understand why she would do it. The man's going to get horny. The man's going to want to message her now and again. The man's going to want to bang her now and again. The man might do favors for her, X, Y, Z, but she ain't going to do nothing for him. So any man who is friends with a woman is giving his attention without retrieving and receiving what he wants from a female.
You know what's interesting? Every single time that there's the conversation about a woman being in a position where they could get like sex, he is very charitable about the fact that they will have an enormous amount of self-control. If you've noticed, he's like, yeah, I get why a woman would want to be friends with a man. I get why a woman would want to be friends with a man, because she can get goods and services, I guess, from him without cheating. He's like, I get it. But like the man in almost every scenario doesn't have like with the justification for cheating and things along that line. Men have no self-control. Like that's like the fundamentals of what's happening here. Men are just fucking horny pieces of shit that have no self-control. That's what he's effectively saying. It's very interesting. The double standard seems to be very much in favor of thinking men are pathetic.
So it's a mistake. It's a mistake to make. If you give something away for free, it has no value. My attention has value. I don't give my attention to people who don't give me what I want in return. Okay. It's a waste of time. What you gonna give me? Advice? You think I need advice from some ex? The fuck? What are your advice? You're gonna do nothing but sit there and go, hey babe, and send me the all fucking selfie trying to get attention again. I see her as a liability. I see her as something for me to pay money for someone to pick up, someone to defend if we randomly get an attack on the street, someone to give a shit about without any exchange. And what does she give me?
Exchange, advice.
Advice? The fucking, what dude is getting advice from chicks? What dude is getting advice from girls? Any man who sits there and goes, my life ain't going right, let me text some chick, is a dumbass.
I mean, maybe your life's not going well because you can't get a woman because you're shit. So you're like, hey, female friend, can you give me some advice on women? Oh, yeah, sure. Maybe just don't disrespect them constantly and consistently. Oh, fuck. I didn't think about that.
He's a dumbass.
How is he dumb?
Because you should go to your boys, your team.
No, because boys do this weird toxic alpha.
It ain't toxic alpha. It really isn't, my dear.
It really is. It
no,
really is. Okay.
If a man has a serious issue in his life,
Okay.
he can't go to a woman.
Why?
If a man goes to a woman with his issue, it's not a serious issue.
What about your mom? understand. What do you mean?
I feel sad my ex left me, some dumb shit.
Yeah, but
right?
women can give a
They're
shit.
trying to kill me. I need a gun now. You don't text some chick in your phone. You text your boys because only your men who can help you. I'm in Ukraine. The Russians have invaded. I need a way out. Who's got a
American, I
car?
live in
Oh,
Romania.
Cheyenne's coming. Do-do-do-do-do. Peugeot 206. Get fucked. Don't lie to me. Though the women can't help you, and
but
women cannot help
that's
you.
an extreme situation. That
But
you
life's
consider.
extreme.
Okay, so this is an insane extreme situation where it's life and death and there's guns involved. But like, you know, for the most part, like when I have an issue, this isn't it. It's not about who's gonna live or die. You know, maybe it's just some kind of like advice about a topic. This is very intense. This is very intense. Every situation is like so hyperbolic. Oh, life's intense. It can be. What kind of life are you living? Like Fast and Furious. You need to stop doing illegal things, Andrew Tate, because this is just screaming that you do constant illegal shit.
As a man on the edge, life is extreme, my dear. Life is extreme. Yes, life is extreme.
Listen to this.
As a man on the edge, life is extreme, my dear. Life is extreme. Yes.
He fucking clearly shows the no card. We're an hour into this conversation and he still hasn't figured out which card is which somehow. He's insane. He's unhinged. What's happening here? This is incredible. Wow. As a man on the edge. Fucking Lord Jesus Christ. You're killing me, Andrew. I wonder how much of this is a performance. Because this is fucking insane.
Life is extreme.
That was no.
That was yes, don't lie to me. All right, mate. It's not about just advice. My point is that when a man and a woman are friends, I think the woman extracts a lot from the friendship and she gains a lot of things, and I don't think the man gains things to an equal value.
But can I just explain? There's actually a lot of women that don't want anything from men.
Why are you his friend then?
Because sometimes there's men that possess amazing qualities and you just want to make them greater. That's what women do. We add value to anything we do. But maybe just the women that you're surrounded by probably give you that warped perception.
No,
because maybe
wrong,
they're just shit women.
wrong,
But the women that I
wrong,
know
wrong.
are good women that add value to everyone's life.
Women add value completely. I agree. My point is that if you're a man whose life is in order, and many men don't have a life in order, right? If you're a man and your life's not in order, then maybe you can get advice from a chick, right? Because there's guys like this. There's the guys who need their girlfriend or their chick to tell them to stop playing video games, or they need their chick to say maybe you should go to the gym, like a jackass, right? They need mothers. But if you're a G and your life's in order, right?
What? Oh, okay, I guess that's his perspective, is that women only add value to men when men are valueless. Is that the whole thing? This is just so bizarre to me. I mean, this is just so bizarre to me. Like, my wife has been helping me build my my entire persona, like my online persona, and my content revolves around like introspective, intelligent content. Sometimes it's dumb fart, poopy wiener jokes, of course. But that's like what my content revolves around. My wife has been massively beneficial to these conversations about like a lot of these issues and these topics and whatnot. It's not the same as get up and go to the gym. Obviously, my wife doesn't do that. She doesn't give me that advice. She does. We're going to the gym tonight. We're going together. All right. We've been doing it a little bit here and there. We're getting back into it, of course. But it's just so interesting that like he seems to think that women can only give like really stupid advice, like, yeah, you should probably stop being fat. Like that's pretty much it. Go to the gym, clean your room, stop playing video games. But no, women add a lot more value than that, or can. I think that people might be valueless generally, but like the women can be very valued. You know, yeah, I just don't understand.
Georgie.
Yeah. If you are
There just seems to be no scenario where a woman has any intellectual capacity.
G, and your life is in order. I'm not saying I am. If your life's in order, everything's going well, you're making your money, you're in good shape, you got a good network, everything's on track. You did it all before you met some chick. It's all on track. The train is on the track. It's heading towards success. Okay. You don't need female advice, right? Most of the time.
I mean, sure, you don't need maybe. I mean, it might help. I don't know. What? It could help more advice from an intelligent person. Why does it matter if they're a woman or a guy at this point? Maybe somebody could help you with something. But okay.
Man and a woman are friends. The female's extracting attention from the friendship, which I don't blame her for, but females love attention. Why wouldn't they, right? They're extracting attention from
men like attention too, but okay.
The friendship. They might get picked up, they might get rides, they might get bought dinner. And on top of that, the man still has certain masculine responsibilities, right? If someone comes up and snatches her purse, he has to run after the dude, risk his life now, risk getting stabbed for some chick who doesn't suck dick.
I would just call the cops personally. I was like, all right, let it go. Well, not if you steal my wife's lounge fly bag. Then I gotta run after. I gotta go after you. Because those bags are expensive as fuck. Take the money from the wallet. My wife doesn't have any money. But leave the purse, okay? Because that shit's fucking expensive, bro. All right? I got lounge fly, all right?
blah blah. Whereas what does the man get from the woman? Advice? Is that it? A woman can't give the man anything outside of a romantic relationship. Inside of a romantic relationship, she can give him love, she can give him care, she can give him protect his spirit, she can add peace to his life.
Yeah. That's what we can add.
As a romantic partner.
Women can just do that as a friend.
No, they can't. Okay. That is a lie. Okay. You lie.
He yells a lot. He just constantly yells. I feel like it's a sign of unintelligent where you feel like you have to constantly yell about everything.
Lied to me. A woman who is not romantic with the man cannot add genuine peace to that man's life.
Yes, they can.
And he's not wearing socks? Shit, brother. Your feet are going to be stinky.
Lying.
Who are you lying to? Okay, but this is what I'm saying. But you just think women are only good for like, just if they're there sexually.
It's not about being there sexually.
Yeah, it is because they've just like you've.
A woman's job is to spiritually protect her man.
But you can do it with a friend. You can also do that. Listen, I pray for all of my friends. Your perception of women is messed up because maybe it's just the certain women that you know.
Stop trying to pretend I know bad women.
No, but I'm saying, but that's...
Yeah, it seems like that's what it is. You seem to not know very good women. He seems to not really like hang out with women. I think that's what it is. I think he's like doesn't like women. I mean, that's the whole thing. So he doesn't really know other women, and he baseline doesn't respect anything a woman will say to him. So he's not going to like engage intellectually with any woman.
That's clearly what it is. That's clearly what it is.
No, it's not.
Because there's plenty of other good women, and this is why for me it's exhausting explaining this to you because there's so many good women.
I can't obtain anything I'm interested in from a friendship with a female. Okay. It's no hard feelings to girls. I don't have any female friends, not one.
So it's just more because men would want to fuck their friends.
Men do want to fuck their friends. That's a separate.
Okay, so that's why.
No.
Okay, that's what it is really.
I think maybe he wants to fuck his friends, and that's why he doesn't have any female friends.
No, that's a separate argument. That's a completely separate argument that we can go into if you want. Every single man wants to fuck his female friend because if all these girls go, he's just my friend. Yeah, put on 20 stone, see if he wants to talk to you. Fuck no. Oh yeah, protect his spirit when you're fat. Oh, you can't do it anymore. You lost your spiritual powers, now you're ugly. Isn't that funny? How'd that work out? It's bullshit, man. The man's trying to get laid, and the chick's enjoying attention. And I'm telling you that as a man, you obtain nothing from a female friendship. You obtain nothing but responsibility without authority. You're going to sit there and say, I'm her friend, I'm going to take care of her, I'm going to hang out with her, I'm going to take her to the cinema and buy her a ticket, and she's going to go home and fuck some other dude. Stupid. I'm not saying I won't be polite to be, hi, nice to meet you, good to see you, bye. I'm never going to be like, hey, let's go for dinner, we're just friends.
Why? But friend dates is a thing. This is
my brain.
No, but this is what I'm saying to you because it needs to be normalized. Because if you don't have any female friends,
I mean, like, why don't you just split the dinner or whatever? Hey, I'm gonna go out with my female friend. I'm just gonna split the check. You don't have to pay for her. You don't have to go through that customary dating ritual. I don't understand.
You're just basing all your philosophies on just women that you don't even talk to.
Men who pretend to be friends.
True. He seems like he has this fantasy idea. Bro, it seems like all his interactions with women are a bunch of like young girls, legal girls. I'm not saying young, but young girls who just want his money and have nothing to, like, that's what it is. Bro, it's so interesting that these high value men, they always date like these really young women. Young people are stupid. All right, you fucking 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old with girls, you're fucking dumb. And you know what? Same thing with boys. You're all fucking dumb. And it's like, yeah, I'm 40 years old and I date 20-year-olds. And like they really have nothing to add to value except for the way they look. No shit, because they're stupid. Because they're fucking dumb. Because you're 23, you're dumb. Okay, fuck you. Listen, when I was 20, I was fucking stupid too. You think that you're smart, and it's good, and you should be continuously learning. But it wasn't until I was like 26 or 27, maybe 25. Every single year, I would look back and go, wow, I was so fucking stupid. That's how I felt until I was like 25 or 26 years old. And even now, I'm still learning and getting more intelligent. Of course, by listening. But the reality is that you are going to be dumb as fuck till you're like 25 years old. That's my anecdotal experience. And you want to know what? It's also backed up by fucking science because you don't finish maturing until you're 25. Okay? You're mature for your age? Gross. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm projecting? Okay. Wait 5 years. Okay? And you'll come back and say, Papa God, I remember we were watching an Andrew Tate video. And you said that I was dumb and I was 20. And now I'm 25 and I was like, holy fuck. I was so dumb. Okay? And that's the reality. And it's always these high value men. I'm saying that with quotations. It's always these high value men who talk about how women are fucking dumb and they're useless, they're only good for their looks. It's because you're dating young people. You're dating young, dumb people. Stop doing that. Date a mature woman. The problem is that if you look at this dynamic in this conversation, you have a woman who's like challenging him intellectually. And he doesn't want to be bothered with it. And that's why he dates young girls. Because a lot of these guys don't want to be challenged intellectually. They want somebody who will just kind of sit there and shut the fuck up and listen to whatever they want. And they can just spoil them. And that's the dynamic. I'll give you some money. That means nothing to me because I have so much of it. And in return, you'll fucking suck my dick and I won't eat your pussy and you can make dinner or something. That's, for the most part, what it is. And that's boring. I mean, that personally, I would get bored of that. And that's probably why they get bored of like these women. They're like, yeah, I want to fuck other girls. Because you're bored. Because you're fucking bored. Because you're dating some young, stupid asshole. And so, like, there's nothing challenging. What do you guys talk about? Nothing. There's nothing to talk about. You have like, it seems like you have like, it seems like you completely, and like, it's good to have friends, but you have a complete network of friends because you don't talk to a girl that's your age that you could legitimately like bond with. But I'd say, like, realistically speaking, you should have a friend group, but like your partner should be your best friend. Right? That's what my wife is my best friend. And I get it's like very simulating. I'd say it makes the sex much better, which is something that you seem to not engage in, which is like decent sex. So like you're setting yourself up for failure by dating young girls. Legal girls, I hope, but young girls. You're dating fucking morons, and then you're like, oh, these fucking women are dumb. No shit, because they're fucking 20. It's not because they're women. Okay?
Girls are just trying to get laid because there's nothing else to do with a friendship with a girl but trying to get laid. It's just some beta male bullshit trying to pretend they're getting laid.
Okay,
If they were G, they'd just try, she'd say no, and then move on with their life.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Okay, I've got a long list of good male friends. So
sure.
we'll just agree to disagree on this.
Put on 10 stone and text them. Good luck.
Isn't 10 stone 200 pounds? That's a lot of weight to put on. How much is a stone? 14 pounds, so 140 pounds. Why would you do that? I mean, you can make a general argument that the way that you look and express yourself to society does have like an impact on the way everybody sees you. Like, I guarantee you, if you put 150 pounds on, you could lose other male friends as a male. Like, it's you drastically shifting. I mean, there's usually an underlying reason. What you like? You're depressed. Like, just from day-to-day interactions, like as a more attractive person, you have it's called the halo effect. As an attractive man, you have a better chance of getting jobs with other male hirees, but you are the hiree. Other employers, because they see you and they're like, oh, they trust you more. Look into the halo effect. It's a real thing. They're like, oh, this guy, there's a lot of things that contribute to it, like physical appearance, obviously, but like also like the way that you speak, the way that you communicate, the same thing, obviously, but like how articulate you are, even just like how your voice sounds, right? These are all factors in getting people to be like, oh, okay, I like this person. Like, they seem professional in some capacity. I trust them more. It's just baseline. Boom. That's all it is. Men have the same access or similar access to that as well. So, like, if you gain 150 pounds as a guy, I guarantee you that something's going to happen to your friend group as well. Not only just because like, you're less attractive, but also because like you probably have an underlying issue because you just gained 100, you binged and gained 150 pounds. There's probably something going on there. So, yeah.
Andrew, what's the war room?
The War Room is an organization I run for individuals who are trying to escape the Matrix.
Like, so can women join it?
So women love the Matrix.
So what's your Matrix?
No, the Matrix.
What's the Matrix?
I don't understand.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
So we're living inside a simulation, right? We're all slaves on some level.
Okay, great. Have you seen a movie? Okay, I mean, maybe. I've seen the Warcraft movie. I think that's real. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe we're in a simulation. It's really interesting though, because if we are in a simulation, this is what we would consider paradise. I believe there's a theory, and I remember reading this a while ago, where like the height of human basically development would be to hook ourselves up to a supercomputer that's run by like a star, so that it lasts like for a very long time, for millions and even billions of years. And we would upload our consciousness to that, and we could like live out some form of heaven. So if we are in a matrix, I would argue that this is supposed to be our paradise. But like, what's the motivation to living in some kind of like a matrix? Like, what's the motive? Like, who's manipulating us? Like, we're born and then they hook our brains up. Like, what's the point? And
I have an organization which helps people achieve the independence from the systems which are designed to constrain us.
So I can join it?
No, women love control. Women love control and women love systemization.
So do you.
I love control. Yeah. What aspects of my life do I enjoy having control?
Well, the way I've been analysing this date.
Okay, analyse it. Yeah, go on.
No, it's just
I'm interested.
No, I'm just saying it's a very power dynamic control thing.
Well, he wants to control. He's arguing that women like to be controlled and only men want to escape the control. Of course, so it makes a lot of sense. Okay.
I like having sovereignty. I like having control of my own life. I don't like anyone having control over me, and that's what the Matrix does. Whereas females, I don't think have that same mindset towards the world. I don't think women wake up and realize that they live inside of a large penal colony and need to find a way to escape. I don't think they do that.
Yeah, we do.
Do you?
Yeah.
What enslaves humanity?
There's a lot of people that...
It's interesting, though, because if you think about this, like listen, we can get into it. There's different forms of like different oppression, but based on the different identities. Women are generally going to feel more of like of a system constraint, I would say, than men for the most part. I'm not saying men don't feel like a level of system constraint, but I'm just saying.
Are very conscious to life and situations and stuff. So I feel like it's very small-minded for you to just think that women can't join your matrix.
Well, it's not small-minded because it's mine. So firstly, I'm allowed to do whatever I want.
Okay.
And
Well, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't mean that you have a big brain.
secondly, I think that my organization runs best without female participants. And it's not saying that the female in and of herself will be a bad person or an unworthy participant.
Well, that's what
I just
you are
think
saying.
the organization is better if it's purely male. For the same
Because you think women are less than. Like, yeah, okay.
reason you don't have women on the front line. Like when it's all men, you focus on the task. When there's a chick around, there's some showing off, there's some trying to impress the chick. It just dilutes the efficiency.
I mean, maybe I've talked to you know, people in the military, and they're like, yeah, there can be complications when you have like a woman on the front line with you for sure. But like, what? Well, you're not fighting in a fucking war. I'm very confused.
But I feel like you would attract.
But again, like you're speaking to the lack of self-control of men. Like, isn't that so interesting that like there are times where we need to exclude women from a place because men are too fucking stupid and like Neanderthal to be able to control themselves. It's just that's pathetic. It's pathetic that you make men out to be such dumb fuck babies constantly. We can't have a woman in the space because men will get too fucking horny and want to show off. What? Well, what the who's that a criticism of? The woman or the man? Men are just too fucking stupid to interact with women apparently.
Entitled women.
Maybe
His organization is a get rich quick crypto course. He lures vulnerable men with his weird incel shit. Makes perfect sense. Typically, like all these high value men will sell you like expensive bullshit courses on how you can succeed in life, and they don't work. They're just dumb as fuck. They all prey off of like worthless. They all prey off of men in tough scenarios who fall for this rhetoric because they see a rich person and go, there has to be something there. Like, yeah, for sure. Listen, Andrew Tate got rich because he was a really good fighter. And to be honest with you, you get really lucky based on a multitude of factors. You know, where you grow up, your just biological genetics, when you start, when you got into like the particular thing. And he still worked really hard, but you get pretty lucky and you can't necessarily replicate that success. Then he took the large amount of money that he got and he invested it into things that seem rather shady because he's constantly having issues with police. The moral of the story is make us a lot of money, and then you can take that money and you can engage in risky investments. It's hard to do that generally because it's hard to make a lot of money, especially now with technology driving down wages and displacing jobs. But I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate's like professional fighter. No, I almost guarantee. What does he do then? I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate is like a professional fighter. Like he's a British American kickboxer and online personality. He had a successful kickboxing career and later gained notoriety online regarding his treatment of women in public comments about sexual assault and sexual harassment. So it sounds like he's somebody who made a lot of money in boxing, and then he said some dumb shit about women, and then like high value male bullshit sphere gravitated to him. So he's basically, you could argue, he's some form of like a political pundit, I guess. Maybe that's where he got some of his money. He wasn't professional. It fucking says he's professional right here. He had a successful kickboxing career. I think that you guys have. I think you're fucking trolling me at this point. Okay, let's continue.
to a degree, but I also think that like everything in life, there's balance. I would completely understand.
Just to correct you, he got rich from moving to Romania and abuse their lax sexual assault laws to exploit poor cam girls for scamming. Maybe. Like I said, it sounds like he got money and then he was able to engage in potentially risky investments. Like that seems to be like what happened. But okay, let's continue.
Stand a woman who said, I won't date broke men. But a woman who would sit here and say, I want X money, I'd already get fucked. So it's a balance, right? I understand why a woman wouldn't want to date a man with no money, but I also would never allow a girl to treat me like a sugar daddy.
What is your type, physically?
There's all types of beautiful women. Beautiful.
Okay, your type.
Beautiful.
Oh, so he got a lot of his money through his like his bullshit webcam shit. Okay. So he got a lot of. So it seems like he got some money through kickboxing, and then he took that money to invest it into some kind of like weird scheme where he would. Dude, it seems like he would put these women in some kind of vulnerable position. The legality of it, the morality of it, I think is more of something to focus on. It seems like it may not necessarily be legal though. He openly talks about getting cam girls a lot of money. Yeah, that makes sense. So he got rich regardless, taking advantage of a bunch of women. Okay, fantastic. Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful is beautiful. Blonde is beautiful. Brunette is beautiful. There's hot brunettes. There's hot blondes. I don't have a type. To say that I only like one particular type of woman is small-minded. I don't think any man thinks that way anyway. Maybe we have a preference, but I don't believe in a particular type.
Do you believe?
What? I think what? That seems weird to me. I feel like everybody has a particular type. It doesn't have to be super specific and strenuous, but everybody generally gravitates towards a particular type. The fact that he doesn't have a particular type suggests to me that like he hasn't sat down and thought about it. He doesn't seem to have a lot of experience with women in like a real way. He just seems like the fuck still. He's like a grown baby.
Yeah.
I don't think anything I've said to you so far is bullshit. Maybe the shoe thing. That's about it. The rest of it's completely true.
Some of your views are very extreme, a bit misogynistic.
Are they?
And
bit.
a little bit of an ego.
So if you had a boyfriend, would you have male friends?
I would, but it's just, you've just got to know how to have boundaries with friends. I'm not going to be calling that friend past 8 o'clock.
If your man said, I'm uncomfortable you having male friends and you love me and we're together forever and we're about to have a child or about to get married, whatever, stop talking to them all, would you stop?
No. I believe in compromise, but not that, because now...
That would be bizarre, that you would come into a relationship and then, like, once you get close to being married, say, by the way, if you want to marry me after 3 years being together, you can't be with your male friends. Like, that's like a weird thing. If you just started the relationship and you're like, yeah, this makes me uncomfortable, then you could stop there because she's like, that's stupid. That's very controlling. Like, I'm fine. My wife has, like, a couple of, like, work male friends, I guess. She has a couple of friends, well, a lot of her, like, she has a lot of gay male friends, which is whatever. I could understand why you might be a little bit, like, self-conscious, I guess, or you know. But, again, that's something that you would negotiate at the beginning of a relationship, not at that point. That's, like, that's not even, like, normal. That's not even, like, the normal logic chain of events that would happen.
Now it's a control issue. At the end of the day, as long as I make you feel like you're my man, you're my king and everything else like that, that's not on me if you're insecure that I have male friends.
Do you think
that's a you problem.
that's
No, that's a you
insecurity?
problem. Yes, it is. It's a you problem.
I don't think that's insecurity.
Okay. It's not insecure.
Territorial, maybe, but not insecurity.
Well, I guess those two words mean the same now. Insecurity means, the territorial means insecure now. Grilling.
Andrew, how do you think you've done on the date?
I think that I've pissed you off at least 4 times. At least.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not, like, that's childish. Like, why would you want, like, I don't get it. Like, why is your whole thing to troll women? It's just, like, pathetic. Okay.
I think that I could have said everything in a far nicer way. In terms of purely
So why
attracting
didn't
you,
you?
I don't think I've done that well. But it's been an interesting conversation. And I think that us
doing it for the memes, baby.
And you've made me think a few times. I hope I've said things that made you think a few times. And I think that's more important than just purely the attraction. So I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think that's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to think about because, you know, he's not saying anything that's particularly enlightening. It's pretty, like, we've heard this for a long time now, but okay.
Good.
That was hard work.
I think that part of the reason that he trolls a lot of situations is so that, like, people, he can, like, he'd always kind of, it's plausible deniability. Oh, I was just kidding. When he, like, maybe says something that's stupid. Like, I was just making a joke. I mean, maybe that's it.
We actually
Maybe he's just, like, an epic troll, though, that likes to manipulate women. I don't know.
agree on everything. I was trying my best to say things in a way that she couldn't allow herself to agree with them, but we actually agree on everything. I think she's smart enough to want a man who's in charge of his life, and by extension would be in charge of the relationship, and by extension would be in charge of her. But if you say it in that way, it upsets her.
I don't know. Mine's a bit... Like, he was just draining, exhausting. Like, men like that actually think like that and actually believe what they're saying, like, it's mentally exhausting.
There was a point when I wanted to say sniper out now on all digital platforms. I didn't say that yet. I wanted to bring that one out and I didn't.
What?
But besides that, we did good. That's the
What
only...
do you want to say?
Believe what they're saying, like, it's mentally exhausting.
There was a point when I wanted to say sniper out now on all digital platforms.
There's one where I wanted to say sniper out now on all digital. Oh, his stupid bullshit pyramid scheme. Okay.
Platforms. I didn't say that yet.
Or whatever.
I wanted to bring that one out and I
Self-help.
didn't. But besides that, we did good. That's the only answer I missed.
No, I would not see Andrew again. Do I look like I'm going to see him again? No. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man.
Actually, no, I will. Do you know what? I will see him again because I'm going to prove my point that men need women as friends. How about that?
I said
Weird.
some things she agrees with and
He doesn't seem to be like a particularly valuable friend. But
some
okay.
things that deep down she knows are true, but I said
maybe
them
it's
in a way which
his podcast,
were deliberately
maybe.
abrasive and offended her, so I think she's going to give me a 6.5 or a 7.
Right, so this guy, he's egotistical. He has a delusional mindset on women and he thinks he's a bit too nice. However, I feel like he did have a good conversation. He is a man that knows what he wants. He obviously gets what he wants, so you can't knock it. And he looked nice, so I'm going to give him a 6.
Wow, he called it. He called it. Okay. Wow. Cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down in the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.